2, 1.
Sweet.
There we go. And then how do I get the pop out? Oh, I guess I can see the chat here. Okay.
I got the notification.
Okay, it's fine. I guess it's fine. Hello.
Alright, I see a video. Okay, it's working.
Perfect. I think that was the easiest I've ever done it. I'm slowly learning. What is everybody hyped for the new Star Wars?
No.
No. I'm hyped for Spies in Disguise.
I deadass would rather see Cats.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to get my tickets for Cats soon, aren't I?
Yeah, Cats will be interesting.
I don't know. I'm like, Scott's gonna enjoy it, but
I know he will.
It looks like something where, like, if you get really like drunk, it will be like a fun ride.
Yeah, I might try to do like both in the same day, the Star Wars and Cats.
Already nominated for a Golden Globe. You know, I don't think anyone saw it.
Cats is nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
I like that on YouTube trending. The Star Wars trailer was like number 10, but the Has Been Hotel spinoff was number 1.
That's funny.
Like, yeah, original ideas, please.
Trending isn't always like.
Yeah, but
accurate.
they usually. Yeah, but that's usually just because they'll knock the actually relevant shit out and replace it with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. Or Jimmy Kimmel. Or any other Jimmy.
One of those fucking.
Just one of those Jimmies. We need more Jimmies with talk shows.
I just got done making a video.
If I change my name to Jimmy, could I have a talk show is the question. I think
Yes,
so.
you can.
Jimmy Johnston.
Jimmy Johnston?
That would be the worst.
If you were Jimmy Johnston, you'd be a superhero.
Holy
you'd
shit.
turn into a superhero. You'd be a superhero.
I like this
If I ever had children and hated them, I would name my children Jimmy. All of them.
1, 2, and 3.
You're very quiet.
John.
No, you would name them
Jimmy
Richard.
1, 2. What the fuck?
Oh,
I think
okay.
Jeffrey is
You're
like a
fine
bad
now.
name to give a kid.
Where's your microphone? Is it in front of you? This is better.
Wait,
Is that your microphone? Which one's your
I have
microphone?
no fucking. Trying to figure that out.
I think it's on your webcam. Just flick your
Fucking
webcam
hell.
with your finger. I'm not sure actually. That was your microphone.
What the
I literally
fuck? Why
don't
is it
know
so
the-
quiet?
No, it's fine now.
I can
Well,
hear
that's
you.
because I screamed right into it. Oh, and then now it's loose.
Well,
Well,
I can
keep
hear you
watching then, I
currently
guess.
right now fine when you're not screaming into it. So I think it's fine.
Okay.
I don't even know where my microphone is. This is a new laptop, and I can't use my fancy one because it makes my voice deep.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually, I assume the microphones in the laptops are usually like kind of near where the webcam is or something. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm not a computer expert. Ugh. I just use
You know,
them
that's like
for my job.
Fucking potato microphone.
Mm.
I don't know where it went, but the first microphone I ever had, I literally got from a cereal box.
Mm-hmm. That's
You
funny.
like traded in Fruit Loop, like tabs.
The
I didn't even like Fruit Loops. I just wanted a microphone.
The microphone that I was using for my first, like, 2.5 reviews or whatever was really shitty.
Yeah.
You guys remember the Precious review and how shitty that sounded? It was literally just something like in the cable drawer from my parents' house that I found.
Yeah.
That like has been there for like 15 years. So it
All
was
right.
really,
What kind
really old.
of What kind of headphones do you use?
Right now, I just get whatever Sennheiser medium decent quality without splurging too hard.
Okay, it's just someone on like the YMS highlights asked forever ago, and it's like, well, I better get that answer now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, these ones are the... I think there's a number somewhere. HD 449. The only thing that pisses me off about headphones is like the little specks of black like falling off of it after you've worn them for too long. And it's like, well, I don't want to get rid of the headphones, and I don't want to go through like the there's a fan
You
or
are
something.
now very loud, Jordan.
Is there a fan?
Taking care of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a.
Yeah,
I know you can get like
never...
replacements. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna grab something. I'll be right back.
You guys see Marriage Story yet?
I haven't. I want to on. It's on Netflix now, I think.
It was a little overrated, I think, and a little overhyped, to be honest. But
What is it?
Marriage Story is with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. I'm kind of interested in just seeing Scarlett's performance.
Scarlett was
lately.
really good in it. I think she should win.
Yeah. I've been getting more impressed with her as an actress lately. I think has like a lot more range than just being like a superhero. So
I think she's just really good at indie stuff because with this and Under the Skin, she's like really.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She has more range than just playing like a Marvel hero. So.
And the same thing happened to me with Knives Out. I thought that was really over.
Oh yeah. I love Knives Out. I saw that again yesterday. Yeah,
I wasn't crazy about it because I don't know. There was just like.
That was the most recent one I saw, and
Loved it.
I thought it was pretty great.
Yeah, loved it.
I don't want to like talk about it because like the problem.
Well, yeah, let's not spoil.
A lot of the problems are very spoiler heavy.
Well, yeah, let's not spoil anything since it's pretty. Yeah, it's one of those kind of movies to not really talk about too much.
I don't know. I don't know how big the distribution was for it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that.
I mean, can we just talk about like Daniel Craig's accent for an hour, or
I hate it.
just avoid any
So
plot
distracting.
stuff with.
Yeah, I'm
Dan's I know. I mean,
All right.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Augie sent a package,
Yeah,
and I'm opening it. We've got fear.com.
oh, good
A
for
film.
you.
That I think I watched when I was much younger, but I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
on like,
remember it existing.
I think it's on like the IMDb bottom 100.
Oh, is it? Oh no.
I think so.
Yeah, because my cousin
I'll
was
go
a
check.
horror fanatic, and he sent this to me, and I never watched it, but I figured it would be great just to make fun of.
Yeah.
I hate the title.
I remember the DVD cases that were these monstrosities. It's just like a piece of cardboard and like they're so
Let's see.
flimsy.
Yep, it's number 62.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I have no idea whether or not I've actually seen this when I was younger.
Yeah. And if you peel open the cardboard, you can find a copy of Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
Oh, what?
I don't know. I'm just fucking. I don't know.
But I do see Cool Cat here. Sardonicast, New York.
So
Oh, man.
the two guys right to your right is Kenny versus Benny.
Oh, awesome.
I remember, I can't particularly remember what I put in that. Yeah, so on the far left is Nostalgia Critic and Beyond the Trailer, and then the 7 out of 10, of course, and then the Holy Mountain on the top.
Yeah, I
Neil
see
Breen.
Tommy and Daddy Derek.
Yeah.
The Lion King on the top, and the Will Smith Aladdin.
Awesome.
The side that's supposed to be Cyberbully with the pill bottle.
Oh, I see.
the guy with the beard is Charlie Kaufman. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Redbird.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So wait, how do we send you stuff?
Yeah.
Send me a DM and I'll give you a PO box. I usually don't like to just like put a "Hey everybody, send me things" link everywhere.
Like a DM on your Patreon.
Yeah, wherever.
That has a great.
Okay,
we
cool.
got like one of those mainstream YouTubers that have.
You don't
Well, because I don't want to. I just don't want like a.
What kind of YouTuber
I'm
are
not
you?
a hoarder, right? So it's like just imagine the YouTubers that do those like, oh yeah, I got a PO box, send me things and I'll open it every week. What do you think happens to all that shit?
Well, I did remember.
Do you think they actually
for
like
a while,
keep all of it? Like they can't.
I
They
saw
can't
footage
possibly.
of like
I don't want too
a
many
podcast.
things.
It was like Drunken Peasants back when the Amazing Atheist was there. They did like the PO box shit, and like one time they got a Switch, the other time they got a glitter bomb. So
No. Yeah, I don't like if you really want me to send me something, then I'll like send me a DM or whatever. But otherwise,
That shows like what was
Yeah.
in theaters that week of when I got that newspaper. On the back, there's a big Parasite.
Parasite.
Poster. It's on the back.
Every time I think Parasite, I think of like a stupid movie called Parasite from the 70s or 80s.
Oh, there was another Parasite?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually had a
Probably.
pretty sweet effect of a woman's face exploding with the parasite coming out of it.
Yeah, the title
Yeah,
of Parasite is a little weird. It almost makes you think it's like a
Yeah.
horror
Yeah,
movie.
like the director
That's what I
himself.
thought.
The
It's
director
a little-
himself like thought that it would have been like another host, like because he made the host. So.
And I'll probably read
Oh,
this whole
boy.
thing later, unless you want me to read it now.
Yeah. No, you can leave it. Yeah, you can do
Okay.
it.
Thank you so
Can
much.
you guys hear me?
I really appreciate it.
And thank you. It's funny because when I went to see Parasite, it was in this small art house theater that I have, and it's in the screening room because in the theater you have the big room with like blockbusters and stuff, and then you have the side room which is like indie stuff, and and that was for Parasite. But the walls were so thin that while I was watching Parasite, you could hear Frozen 2 songs in the
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
I saw
That's
that. It was so bad. It
Yeah.
was so bad.
Yeah.
Frozen 2.
Well,
I'm
like
sure.
I'm probably gonna be
it
forced
was
to go.
so.
I'm probably gonna have to watch Frozen 2 just for like the Oscars commentary before that happens.
Do you
And
think
it's
you'll
like,
have time?
it's probably
do you-
still
do you
gonna be in
think you have-
theaters by that point. It's probably not gonna be on like digital.
I'm
think you-
expecting a. I'm
You think
expecting a 5 or lower.
you think you'll have time to do that on top of your Lion King?
Well, I
YMS,
mean,
since
like,
that's
there's
gonna
no
be your-
deadline for the YMS shit, so I mean, it would be weird if I did literally nothing else.
Well, I mean, the Lion King YMS is going to be like your opus, so.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not trying to get it out this month.
Yes.
There's no, yeah, exactly. There's no.
You rule all of this? Yes.
I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it hard, but I'm not gonna work on it to the point where like I'm not gonna do it in a way where I don't have time for literally anything else. So,
Okay.
because that would just be dumb.
Oh,
By the
also-
way,
Oh, never mind.
all
Oh,
I
no,
was
you
gonna
go.
say was, sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything to say. That's fine.
Clearly it did.
I don't know. Is it? You know. No, I'm like,
I haven't seen that yet,
Sorry.
Ali. Art of Self-Defense.
So I did watch Xavier Guardian or
Renegade.
Renegade Angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
I don't know what I'm gonna consider. Like I'm
I
gonna
like
come
it
up
a
with my
lot.
own genre for that, and that is a pseudo intellectual comedy.
Huh.
Really?
Just because of all the pseudo intellectual things he has to say.
Oh, so the character, not necessarily
the
the show itself, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, just the character says stuff that's not very. Like I wouldn't even consider them like completely logical. In
Oh,
a
yeah,
sense.
that's
And
part of
it's
it.
Great.
Yeah, that's part of the
yeah.
charm.
Well, that's why I say pseudo intellectual. Because hence the name. It's not really intelligent, the things he's saying. But it's funny because I've been having an Adult Swim kick lately, and I've been watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force. And
yeah, that was a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, Carl's.
I've been watching a lot of Eric.
I can hear you. Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Andre was in The Lion King.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Just for
I said, I would have loved to see a hyena just ripping up the set while screaming. Just
Yeah. Just attacking the crew.
He is so out of place in that like corporate world, you know. He doesn't fit there.
Birda.
Birda.
Of this afternoon.
He's very. He does not. You could tell he was like weirded out just by being on the
he has like
at the
I
premiere,
heard in the remake,
pretending
like,
to be like
Zazu
family friendly.
I heard in the remake Zazu actually saw the murder and did nothing about it.
No. But
No?
he
All
like
right.
so what they changed it to was like instead of Scar like knocking him out, Zazu's like, I'll go back for help, and he actually does, I think.
Okay.
But he instead of for whatever reason, like Jon Favreau, he had this thing where he's like, well, the lionesses don't really do much in the original, so I'm gonna make them more of a pivotal part of like the conflicts, I guess. And so he wanted to instead of Scar just like admitting it right away at the end, he made it so that he basically, when he's like, this is just how your father looked before he died or whatever, and he's having that conversation with Simba, somehow the Sarabi like is able to hear all of that, and she's like, well, how were you able to see what his eyes looked like if you didn't get to the gorge in time? Because Scar came back originally, he was like, in the remake, he's like, oh, I would have saved them, but I didn't make it to the gorge in time. But Zazu knew this, and so for this scene, they just had Zazu hanging out with Rafiki. So if literally any of them just had talked to Zazu at any point about this incident, they would have realized that Scar was lying. But for whatever reason, they just didn't communicate for like 10 years or some shit.
Holy fuck. So they
Genius
basically made the
writing.
movie more incompetent.
Yeah, all they needed to
Not that
do
it
was
wasn't before.
all they needed to do was just like talk to Zazu at any point, and they would have realized that Scar was lying about the whole thing, but they didn't.
You know what? I hope they do not make a remake of the second movie. Not that it was great or anything,
I don't think there's any reason to.
but
Well.
no reason
I mean,
to,
it made a lot of money. Like, it's the highest grossing, unfortunately, animated movie ever now. So,
but it's live action.
the second one.
what?
So they claim.
That is an issue.
Animated.
Okay.
If it
By the
gets,
way,
I
where the
want to
hell
see it
am I on
nominated for. I want to see it nominated for Best Animated Picture, just because that would be really fucking funny.
Best animated live picture or
Such
best
a
animated
sad
picture.
Live
live action
action?
remake of
Is it live action? The
No, they
Academy
need to-
doesn't seem to
they-
think so.
for the live action
It's
remake
like one
award
shot
though.
that's real.
They
That's
should
it.
They
add a
have to,
category for best childhood rape.
Sounds like a Razzies nomination.
I mean, these remakes need their own category. Let's be real. They're just nostalgia bait.
Yeah,
Biggest
it wasn't good.
dick tug of the year. It was-
Worst
I
remakes.
will not be giving Disney any of my money. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Which remake is worse, Lion King or Old Boy?
Hands down.
They're both really bad.
What about Lion King or Aladdin?
I
I
think
don't
Old
compare
Boy
thirds,
is.
I'm sorry.
Old Boys.
If I were
bad.
to remove the originals from existence and judge the remakes if they were like the first property, I think The Lion King would be worse. Because
Yeah.
you can't relate to the characters.
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible.
I would-
It's not, like, I don't understand how anybody can watch that movie and be like, yes, I understand, like, how everything's
You
just
could've stopped
comical
there.
about it. Like,
I don't understand
Is
how
there
anybody
any-
can watch this movie.
Is there any spin-off game or anything from Lion King that you kind of enjoy at all? Or
The one where Simba hangs himself.
yeah, I don't think so.
really, like
Like what? What am I supposed
anything?
to say?
I know, just anything, because since you since that's like your favorite animation film, so
Yeah, but I
own
mean the
some kind
spin-offs
of
aren't good.
Hmm.
I mean the
Little does
original video game is like has its charm, I guess, but it's not something I love.
Did you see the video game where Simba hangs himself?
Yeah, I did.
I thought that was Steven Crowder trying to replicate Jeffrey Epstein's suicide.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's that.
What a shame.
Knives Out kind of reminded me of a movie about Jeffrey Epstein
Oh god.
Hmm.
for some reason.
8mm?
What?
Nicolas Cage? That movie's about that.
I haven't seen that
Yeah.
yet.
That
Knives
is a
Out kind of
disgusting
had
movie.
some themes
Brace
similar to
yourself.
Parasite. The more you think about it, or at least for me.
But the Frozen 2 thing also happened when I went to see The Lighthouse for the second time. So that was
Oh
annoying.
no.
Yeah, but it was
You should go to a different theater.
No, because it's like, I think it's really the only theater in my town that really pays the most respect to indie films. So, you know.
How many
Mm.
people are in the indie films theater? Anyway.
I mean, I'm trying to
Um,
make this. I'm trying to like make this club with like a bunch of people from my school where we would just, and Sardonicast was a huge inspiration for this, by the way, where we would just watch a movie in the screening room of that theater, and like I'm talking about like real like important films
Mhm.
that me like my friend of mine will like choose. And we would try to get as much people from our school as possible, and then we would spend like an hour talking about it.
That's
It would
cool.
be like a once a month thing. Yeah, because I mean, a big reason I want to do is because film is the most important art in my opinion for my life, and I don't think there's enough like film knowledge in my town, because when I ask people what their favorite movies are, they'll probably just bring up like a Marvel movie or a Harry Potter movie, and that's fine and all, but I
Yeah.
just
Those are products, not movies.
Yeah.
The more you can do to like help expose people to these things is good.
I think it's just good to have a variety of things you enjoy, whether it's superhero or indie. You know.
because like one of my favorite movies is The Seventh Seal by Ingmar Bergman.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that a lot of people will be turned off by the fact that not only is it foreign, but it's in black and white. And I have to read subtitles. I have to.
Yeah.
There's no color in it. It's like,
Yeah, that is an issue.
Funny you bring that up. I just got that for my birthday.
Nice.
Seventh Seal on Criterion. My sister got it for me.
I got it for the sale.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
Gosh,
Excuse me. Ugh.
I have not watched it yet, though.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
think
seen anything by Igmar.
if you're trying to get people who don't usually watch indie or foreign movies, it's good to start them off with some that are like really, really easily accessible, like Old Boy, like where it's
Yeah.
like you can't,
Yeah.
or even like you could even say Parasite, where it's like nobody
gonna
nobody
say-
really doesn't enjoy those movies except like Armand White maybe.
Yeah, there was like a decent crowd size. There was a decent crowd size for Parasite when I went to see it.
Yeah.
Same with The Lighthouse.
4 movies.
The smallest crowd size I've seen for an indie movie was Sorry to Bother You, where it was literally just Dad and I.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
entire
that can
theater was
happen.
empty.
Yeah.
That was tragic.
Was it like a
I still haven't
evening
seen that
show
one.
too?
One of the Old Boy is one of the 4 movies that I can't watch yet. So that sucks.
Oops.
It's not that bad. Or, well, I know.
Only 4 movies. I'm sure you could
Yeah, I
find
mean-
some movies that are much worse than that.
Well, I have seen much worse than
Yeah.
that. I mean, I can't what I don't know, like Irreversible. I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's much
Irreversible
more
is really
extreme.
that's
yeah.
really more extreme.
I mean, I
Yeah.
saw Climax, but that didn't really bother me that much.
Climax is more like
know.
nightmare existential.
I mean, I didn't watch
Yeah,
it in the theater.
I kind of felt
It is very much a nightmare.
I kind of felt that way with Enter the Void, not so much with Climax. Maybe.
Yeah, that
I don't
too.
know. Well, yeah, I mean, Enter the Void was.
cosmic horror.
I think it was also like the runtime because Enter the Void was like longer and like Climax was like 90 minutes. Or
Yeah.
So.
I still want to see Lux Eterna or whatever that is.
Huh.
The new Gaspar Noé.
Yeah.
It's only like 40 minutes or something.
Oh, by the
Nothing.
way, on the
Yes.
drawing with the Where's Megan, above that is Anthony Fantana. Just pointing that out.
Thank you.
With the Where's Megan.
In the movie Love, there's this one musician that he used 2 songs from this musician. He was like the guitarist of Red Hot Chili Peppers, John Frusciante, and I was it was really nice to hear that in that one Gaspar Noé film.
Wasn't there a 3D release of that movie? And they have like a lot of like come in that movie.
It was screened in 3D at TIFF for sure.
That's what that was like.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's gonna be a weird thing to bring up, but I had a funny thought about it. But my nephew was watching fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh no!
And I had a great idea. What if we had Shark Boy and Lava Girl, except without the green screen effects?
Yeah, exactly. I think every movie should have a
That would be great.
untouched version in the special features. Just like
It'd be
no
great.
effects.
Basically,
See,
the movie is basically Robert Rodriguez doing what M. Night Shyamalan tried to do with Lady in the Water, like a bedtime story into a movie for his kids.
Kind of, yeah.
It shows, and it's such like an
Except,
Original
I don't
series
know.
Amazing.
Robert Rodriguez's kids movies make sense as kids movies. M. Night is just using his children as an excuse for his bad movies.
I think
He
it's
never
more
got off the
actually
track,
like,
though, Adam. He never got off the track.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's more like that Bedtime Stories movie with Adam Sandler. Remember that?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's a pretty apt
It was an interesting one. It had an interesting concept, but it
Oh,
sucked.
Lord.
Speaking of
I wanna
Adam
see
Sandler, I still have
I think.
the Uncut Gems. I really want to.
Yeah, I want to go see Uncut Gems.
It's playing nowhere, and it's,
Yeah, bye.
I can't wait to see it.
Playing nowhere near
I
you.
really liked Good Time.
I really wish Neil Breen would show some of his movies in Salt Lake City. I swear. I think I'd pay every dollar.
Real human brain.
We need
Yeah,
like a real legit Neil Breen box set Blu-ray collection.
Does his movies have Blu-rays?
I was just thinking.
He has to start.
There was
moving on to DVR,
one.
though.
I remember Adam talking about this, but there was like one unauthorized Neil Breen Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's Fateful Findings, and it is in HD for sure. And it was on Amazon a while ago, and now you can't find it anywhere. And
1080p.
it is, and it's like I don't know where this thing came from, but I have it, and it's it's a 1080p legit 1080p version of his movie, and I don't understand like where did it come from?
Did someone steal the file from his computer?
know.
Or like
They hacked
it like
into
the
it.
next
I would think they'd have to upgrade it. He'd probably still be running off of like
like
512 megabit RAM.
can you use it? Can you even use a flash drive on a fucking Pentium 2 or whatever, Apple 2?
Oh god.
That'd be good.
What if Neil Breen had his own like loot crate thing going? Breen
Loot
crate
crate.
or something.
Brain crate.
He
That'd
would
be
send you one of his
interesting.
broken laptops.
He'd send you a bunch of broken laptops and cell phones.
Yeah. Cans of
Yeah,
tuna.
yeah.
Half-eaten cans of tuna. Great.
I think there's a Blu-ray release of. You guys ever heard of Butt Crack? The movie with the. It's a movie. It's like a Love on a Leash. It's like there's this fat guy with and his butt crack is always out, but whenever you look at it, you die.
Oh, is that a Monty Python joke?
It is the most.
It sounds like it.
It is
Oh my
the
God.
funniest thing in the world, but it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. I love it.
Makes me think of a
Like
joke
Thunderman.
I made at work. So a plumber was coming in, so we had to keep the dogs in this far yard. And as I said, like, oh man, I wonder how long the plumber is going to take. And then I said, oh yeah, of course. Just look at the length of his crack, and that's how you'll know.
It's like a sundial.
Trying to see- Maybe.
Yeah.
Sundial.
It's a,
It's a
primitive
moon
sundial.
dial.
Moon dial. Oh.
Oh.
Ah, got him.
Spicy.
It's a full moon.
Let's see.
That's when his pants just fucking drop.
So have any of you seen like Vincent Gallo movies?
Yeah, I saw the Brown
I've
Bunny.
seen Brown Bunny, but
And it sucked.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen Brown Bunny yet, but I just watched Buffalo 66 last night for the podcast, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, that's the recommendation?
Yeah, that's the podcast movie right now.
Oh. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did actually. The first 20 minutes were like unbearable, but the rest of it was pretty great.
How was the music in it?
The music was good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see the Brown Bunny at some point now, but like those are his
When did it
two
come out?
that anybody has seen, I guess. And he's made more movies, but like nobody talks about them, I guess.
They really only talk about Brown Bunny because of that one scene, but
And also the controversy at Cannes. He like
What
got
happened?
into an argument with Roger Ebert.
Oh yeah, he cursed him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apparently
Roger
Vincent
Ebert called it the
Gallo-
worst film in the history of Cannes Festival. And then Vincent was like, "Yeah, well, you're fat." And then Roger Ebert was like, "I may be fat, but one day I'll be skinny, but you will forever be the director of the Brown Bunny."
yeah.
And then
it's a
apparently it
Brown
got
Bunny.
recut, and like 20 minutes got trimmed from the film, and then Roger Ebert gave it a thumbs up after that, which is funny. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I wonder what Roger Ebert would make out of the Lighthouse.
Yeah, we'll never know.
I mean, he gave Phantom Menace 3.5 stars, so he wasn't that smart.
I mean, he was very poetic and articulate about his opinions. The reason why he was such a great critic is not necessarily because of which movies he liked and which movies he didn't like. It was the way that he talked about movies. It was like he was
Yeah, his
more or less
presentation was
creating
very
like poetic
groundbreaking.
essays on films, and that's why he's so respected.
I
Like
mean,
he was a
inspired lot
writer
of,
first,
like,
basically.
Now it's just Brian Tallarico and Glenn Kenny, and it's just like, it's not him, so what's the point? You know?
Yeah, I don't know why that site isn't just an archive now.
Because the
It was a
name still gets
random-
clicks.
Yeah.
So was this argument taking place on like on stage or something?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't
That
think it
sounds
was
amazing.
actually like recorded. I think it was like a back and forth, like talk to the press, and then they hear that they were talked about, and then they talk to the press, sort of thing.
What
Back
movie
and
was it
forth on
again
Twitter.
that the Criterion had an essay from Armand White?
What was it? It was a good one. Was it like Secret Sunshine or some shit? Like I don't remember. What was it? What the
I'll see
fuck
if I
was
can
it?
find it.
We were talking about this another time. I have the
Song of the
Blu-ray.
South? I don't know.
I just recently got the Criterion of it.
He has the current. He's on there.
It's so weird. Why would you ask Armand White to do an essay for?
I found
Right.
he made an essay on George
He
Washington,
respected him.
the movie.
Critic. Can't even finish saying it.
Made an essay on many movies.
Let's see.
Revanche.
I mean, did you read the essay or?
No, I just kind of looked at it.
Revanche.
Revanche. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed because like a lot of the essays, like Seventh Seal and Fantastic Mr. Fox, it's like a nice little booklet. But for some reason, Bowling for Columbine and Funny Games have those things where you have to like unfold them.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
bought,
That's, like,
I bought
Way
one.
harder to read, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Bowling for Columbine.
Yeah, that's on
Yeah,
Criterion.
the Michael Moore movie.
I buy a lot of Criterions that I haven't seen beforehand, and I don't think I should do that.
It was
Yeah,
my first Michael Moore
they're
movie.
expensive, so don't.
It's called a blind
Yeah,
buy.
I do end up liking them anyway. I do end up liking them.
I'm not a fan of doing that.
I just went to
I
Barnes
do
and
it.
Noble to get Funny Games, and then it's like, oh, Michael Moore. All right, I'll go see why this guy's controversial.
Mm-hmm.
My Barnes and Noble has no Blu-rays, and it pisses me off because the rest of the locations usually do. And when I went to Florida, and I went to Barnes and Nobles, they had an entire Criterion section dedicated to that. So
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Yeah, I don't even think there's a Barnes and Noble in Canada. I'm not sure.
Really? Wow.
I mean, Barnes and Noble.
Tim Hortons.
Barnes and Noble's on the sales months are like $20, but you can already get like Criterion's just on Amazon for just a little over 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of useless by that point.
Yeah. Whenever
It's
they
just
do their
convenience.
sales, it's like fine, but they're still shipping
If
to
anything, it's
Canada.
best.
So.
If anything, it's best for a quick buy.
Like, yeah, while you're actually there.
Also, I noticed when I went there, Fantastic Mr. Fox came in like 2 sizes. There's like a thin one and a fat one.
Oh.
Wait, what? Oh, the book.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes
So-
they
Is it
have
more
like
condensed?
special packaging and then they scale it back after a limited run.
Because
Of
I got
that.
I got the fat one on Amazon, and then when I went to look for Criterion's at Barnes and Noble, I saw they had 2 Fantastic Mr. Foxes that were radically different sizes.
I wonder if they were just condensed or something.
I don't know.
I think it was like just a couple weeks ago. I was at this video store, like this old video store, looking for movies, and I finally, after like I hadn't found it anywhere, I finally found it inside Llewyn Davis because I like to collect movies, and I finally bought it. And then literally, like the day after, I saw that it had a Criterion collection.
Yeah.
Had a Criterion movie.
I usually just get the Criterion and swap out the old one.
Yeah, that's what I do, and that's why I was so upset. I was like, I should have got the Criterion version.
Yeah. Better special features, usually a better transfer.
I really wish Happiness was on that site because the DVD alone is like $45.
I wish Criterion did 4K UHD Blu-rays.
That'd be dope.
They'll eventually get to the format.
How many people even have players to run?
They're releasing Roma, which I can't wait for.
I just pre-ordered that.
They're releasing Roma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pre-ordered.
Yeah. I'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta use the washroom. Hold on.
I actually got some decent headphones for Roma now.
Can't wait for Avengers Endgame's Criterion. Now that's
that marriage story contract is so stupid.
Does it come with a loaded handgun?
Got him.
Just Tide Pods and some cups of bleach.
Enough for you.
Isn't it kind of early?
Family.
Isn't it kind of early for a Roma release?
I don't think
or
so.
at least a Criterion release. I always figured that
there was a Criterion release on Cold War, and that came out in 2018. So
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Boyhood has one. Blue is the warmest color.
yeah, and the most recent I remember before Roma was Cold War, and that came out like So
I don't like.
Oh, okay. I thought usually they gave it some time.
Yeah, I know.
Like for full critical analysis or something.
Does anyone ever think that one of Edgar Wright's movies might get a Criterion?
No.
I think the Cornetto
They
trilogy.
should have a Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, they should do the Cornetto trilogy.
They're way too popular in mainstream.
And a
And put it in
3-box
a box
set.
It is.
Just
It
put in
used
a
to not be
3-box
so
set with a bland Cornetto thing on the cover, and that's it.
No, but
Literally just a photo of a Cornetto.
Yeah, literally just that, and that's it.
Actually, it would be kind of cool to do that, but with like the 3 different colors that the Cornetto movies represent.
Or maybe
Red,
have
green,
like
and blue.
different I mean, have like different bites taken out of it.
Yeah.
What other colors does Cornetto have?
Red, blue, green?
No idea.
I've never had a Cornetto.
That sounds more of a blue.
Even you guys.
Does that Paul Alien movie count as one of those movies?
God.
Yes. Oh wait, no.
Well, it's
I don't
not.
think
It's not Edgar.
Why would you
Trying
say
to have a
yes?
different director.
I don't think is that Edgar Wright?
It's not.
No,
Edgar
God
Wright.
no.
No, right. Yeah, that was just a
It's
still
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Those are the three.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
found
those
it.
three.
No, those are the best.
Oh yeah,
ones.
there's a yellow one, a black one, purple one, I think.
And
Yeah.
Like
blue.
the Power Rangers.
They should
Another
make
reason
like
why I think. Yeah. Another reason
Okay,
why
I
think
found the
they should
movie.
Another reason why I think they should have Happiness is because they already have the Life After Wartime movie, so it just really makes sense.
Fuck, Happiness is like butt fuck hard to find. I could not find it anywhere.
Exactly, and that's why I think it's such a great movie. So I think they really should have it.
It was fine, I guess.
I loved it. I loved it.
It's no Schenectady.
I watched it while I was sick, so that wasn't great.
Same with Elephant, also. Like Gus Van Sant.
Elephant sitting still, more like. Okay.
Yeah. Good talk. Good talk. Did you guys?
The Twitter marriage story controversy is so stupid.
There's a controversy about Marriage Story on Twitter.
Yeah, people have been like using the clip from the argument scene in the movie.
That's so dumb because it's the best scene.
Yeah, I know, no. Yeah,
It's
they've
the best scene in the
been
movie.
taking it out of context because it's like the whole point is that the movie's been building up to that scene, and then just like, oh, this is bad acting or whatever. It's very
Oh my
strange.
That's sad, because
I
that
do
scene
like the
has so many
memes that are
amazing
coming from the
memes.
scene though. But
I think
I mean,
the movie's a little overrated, but I still think
yeah,
that
I
is
didn't
the
like it
best
at all.
scene.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
No, I enjoyed
You
it. I give it an 8, but I think that is the best scene, so it's unfortunate. So.
Yeah, you need the context for sure, though.
No,
Oh, I
I
just got this-
absolutely loved it. It's probably my favorite of the year.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting.
I just didn't think it was the masterpiece that people hail it to be, but I did enjoy it.
I thought it was like an 8.
I don't know what about it didn't work, but something about it just didn't work for me. Maybe
I
just
was
don't
not.
understand divorce.
What I did not care for was the editing, and I think the music.
The humor fucking sucked.
Hey
I
guys,
was
be
fine
proud
with
of me.
it.
I haven't launched a face rig yet.
Oh,
Cool.
You're
on the
improving.
Sardonicast Reddit, it says most anticipated films for the next decade, and it says Sonic the Hedgehog, Lighthouse 2.
Fuck yeah.
It says Lighthouse 2, Foghorn Boogaloo, Illumination.
Fuck Sonic the Hedgehog. I want Sonic the Hedgehog the Snyder cut.
Oh, they're releasing movie merch, by the way.
Yeah.
The house that
great.
Neil Breen built.
Illumination reboot of Shrek.
Oh no.
I'm
Transformers-
so excited.
Neil Breen's
Transformers
Shrek.
6.7.8. I don't. Yeah. Spider-Man Homeless. Hobbs and Shaw,
Panhandling.
directed by Robert Eggers. The Last Jedi fan remake.
Oh yeah, there's
you
a
see how he
46-minute cut of The Last Jedi that removes all of the female characters in the movie.
Oh,
Oh my.
I wanted to make my own cut of Last Jedi where no stupid shit happens, but that'd be too much of an edit. Because that entire movie is
It'd just be the movie though. There'd be nothing cut from it.
Well, okay, so I did want to make edits where it removed that stupid Leia scene. Or
That's the best scene in the
Morg's-
movie. You're missing out, Sakino. All
Put a
go.
cape on her.
Cool Cat stops a school shooting. Sardonicast the movie.
Oh,
And
hell yeah.
and the best one. Sardonicast versus Red Letter Media, Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, that'd be good.
They
Modern day Wrath of the Titans.
They gotta put the Sardonicast Disneyland. This the live Disneyland show.
I would be shooting our load too quick, starting with the Sardonicast movie. We gotta space it out. We gotta do the YMS movie first, and then the IAG. Then
Did
the
you guys-
crossover between them.
Did you
And
guys
you've gotta
watch?
get a bunch of creators together and not
a Neil
feed them
Breen Christmas.
days.
Did you guys see
All Neil Breen
Ralph's
jokes.
new miniseries?
Yes.
God.
Where can
I've
you
not
find
yet.
it?
I really want to.
Where can you find it?
I thought it was
Well,
pretty
real
good.
quick,
Just on his channel, Ralph Seppi.
Oh,
the
it is? I
movie
haven't
with
watched
the
it.
Armand White essay was Revanche.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Also, what's this Marriage Story controversy?
It's the meme.
People who haven't seen the movie are judging it by one clip that is actually really good in the context of the movie, but they're calling it
That's the
fake.
best scene in the movie. And it's
out of context.
Driver's not really angry.
They're like,
he didn't punch that wall for real.
What movie is
it? Marriage Story. It's really great. It's one of the best movies.
Yeah,
of
it's
the
on
year, for sure.
Netflix. It's on Netflix now.
I just didn't like it as other people did.
It's in my top
Of course
3
I
of the
hated
year,
it.
I would say.
I have to hate everything.
Oh, wow.
It might be my absolute favorite. I just saw it last night, and I didn't expect to like it more than I liked most movies this year, but I think it just might be my favorite.
Yeah, it's great.
I think what hurt it was the theater that played it. It was like in terrible, like 480p quality, and every time Scarlett Johansson spoke, she clipped the audio.
Weird.
I thought it was a great.
Sounds like the hot tub cinema thing.
No.
Yeah, it was really well written. I think it should for sure get screenplay.
Yeah, and I think
This is
ScarJo
conflicting.
should win.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
ScarJo should at least get a nomination, yeah.
It is weird how like.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's my
yeah.
favorite female performance this year, frankly.
Yeah, I'd have to see.
I mean,
She kind of sucked, honestly.
Who?
Is it close to a 10 for you? Marriage Story, that is?
Yeah, it's a 9.
I gave it an 8.
A lot of good stuff came out this year.
I just thought it was a little overrated.
I think Defoe deserves Best Supporting.
Yeah.
I feel like ScarJo should win Best Actress, and either Adam Driver or Willem Dafoe should win Best Actor.
Well, Willem Dafoe is going to be in the
watched-
supporting category.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
that
think
might be
ScarJo... Does it work like she would get supporting actress in that movie, or what? How does that work?
Sometimes they give them both.
And then Laura Dern would get supporting actress.
Because in La La Land, I think whatever her name is, Stone and Goss.
I forgot that Emma Stone won an Oscar for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I haven't
Best
seen.
Picture winner Emma Stone.
Exactly.
I haven't seen that Mr. Rogers biopic either.
God, you
I don't want to. The director is really meh.
You just made a documentary. And now you want
The documentary was really good.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, and then
It was great. I liked that.
And it's
then,
the
like,
same
year after,
director as
they-
Can You Ever Forgive Me, which was just like,
ew.
there was nothing good about the directing in that movie.
It's the perfect like rainy day Sunday afternoon, like with your grandma
Yeah.
movie.
The Won't You Be My Neighbor is like, it's destined. I haven't seen it yet, but it feels like a mom movie. It feels like a really like unspecial, like
No, it's called
easy watching. Like I like Tom Hanks. I almost
I
when
do
I
have to
was
see
when I
that
was
with
just
my mom.
when I was just bringing it up, I almost said it was Call Me by Your Neighbor, which would be a funny
come on.
a funny crossover.
Oh my god.
Call Me by Your Neighbor. I think it'd be like gay Mr. Rogers the movie.
Mr. Rogers fucks a peach.
Yeah.
It's an alternative reading of his.
Adam, I was wondering if you saw Ready or Not. That horror.
No,
movie
not
last
yet.
year. It wasn't that great.
I'll catch it on
I
digital.
saw it.
It might already be on digital. I have no idea.
It is. Yeah,
Have you-
I just saw it. I thought it was funny.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Blumhouse Fantasy Island reboot with ass-eating Michael Pena?
No.
Yes. And I forgot
Fantasy
about
My God,
Island?
it could be this year's Wish Upon.
I'm not aware of what this is, but is
Oh,
it literally
Wish
just
Upon
called
directed by-
Fantasy Island?
Yeah.
Fantasy Island, yep.
Wish Upon directed by Neil Breen.
You know what I really hate about the Black Widow trailer? Is that this
That has a woman.
No, well, no.
It's from the director of Truth or
Female
Dare. Oh my
lead.
god. Yeah, go on.
Oh, yes.
You're right.
Because the lead actress from Truth or Dare.
Oh, that's
is
so
in it.
funny. What do you hate about the
What-
Black
what
Widow
were you
trailer?
trying to say?
I think, well, the score sounds like you're right.
Yeah.
It's the music is so bad.
The Nooks Cranny.
It's
ear
just
rape.
really
It's another Marvel
stereotypical.
movie. Whatever.
I mean, the bad guy is Taskmaster, right? I think.
I'm glad
Because-
Q is getting more work because I loved her in Midsummer, but
I'm not a comic nerd, but I do kind of find that character a little interesting. But yeah, it's probably going to be really bland either way. So
I'm kind of curious how they're going to build upon from Black Widow and just what their general plan is. With
I'm really
Marvel
just-
films. Since
Sorry.
I'm
Go on.
marveled out though.
I know. I mean, because I think they're going to try to introduce like the Fantastic Four first, but I still don't know what their actual plan is. You know, and yeah. So
I don't know what Marvel movies are gonna do outside of Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man's the only thing that
fucking nothing.
like
They hit a
that
brick
is
wall.
remotely interesting going
Not-
on right now.
I'm not even looking. I'm not even looking
Oh, they have
forward to the
X-Men,
next Spider-Man.
Yeah, me neither.
Far
But
From Home was pretty lame.
I thought it was I had a good time.
Okay, Jake Gyllenhaal's good.
They're setting up Adam
I had
Warlock.
fun.
That's like the next big
I
thing.
had the kid from Christmas Story. He was reprising his role from Iron Man. Ralphie.
Oh yeah.
That's my most exciting moment.
www.ralphthemoviemaker.com.
Mm-hmm. I hear some low breathing, or a fan or something,
Oh god, it's a Black Christmas remake.
or snoring. I don't know who it is.
Jeremy
Don't fall
Johns
asleep in
called
here.
that dog shit.
Whatever.
Yeah. You know, he's not a fan.
I saw the new Jumanji.
The Ghostbusters After
Oh,
Dark
was it?
trailer yet?
Is it as good as the video game?
The Jumanji video game?
Is it as good as the Jumanji video game?
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
It is a thorough video game.
An official movie tie-in game.
Yeah, apparently the new Jumanji, well, how long has it been out? Because apparently it hasn't come close to even making its money back.
Really?
The brand new one or from 2 years ago?
The one 2 years ago was wildly successful.
I thought it was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but it was financially successful.
it was fun.
I thought it was fun. Yeah, that's the word.
It looked like cancer.
At least it was like
sure.
At least it was like a
Let's see.
tie-in, and they at least have referenced that it
think
was
I'll just-
like part of the universe.
I always loved Jack Black.
It has a very bad director.
I'm not a huge Jack Black fan, honestly.
Same.
What's
I mostly just like him in like Tropic Thunder at this point.
I actually have this one friend who looks like
you're
Jack
not
Black.
Jable?
School of Rock is one of my favorite movies ever.
You're not Jablin's Jables?
You're not a Jable?
Tenacious
The
D.
budget was like
I'm Jack Black. I'm a YouTuber now.
Yeah.
yeah,
he's
the
like
budget
Will
was like
Smith.
100. The budget was like $125 million.
For Jumanji 2?
Yeah, and
That's
the
funny.
worldwide so far is 72 million.
How long has it been out?
It was
I guess one day that'd explain it.
Yeah,
you could definitely tell it had a.
it'll probably make its money back.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, I don't want anyone to lose their jobs or anything, but
I mean,
The thing
you don't
is-
you don't automatically lose your job if your movie flops.
I don't want anyone to be in debt. How's that?
It's probably like factory art garbage.
It's a
so-
studio movie. Like, who's really losing money?
You know, I mean,
Has The Rock ever been in anything good?
No.
Kung Fu Panda?
not that I've
Southland
seen.
Tales.
Was he in
I like
Kung Fu Panda?
Yes, that's the best movie ever.
He's the main character, Jack Black.
I thought we were saying The Rock.
The Rock.
Rock.
Oh, you said The Rock? Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
The fucking
sorry.
pacifier? No, just kidding. That movie was garbage.
I thought that was Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Was it Vin Diesel? Really?
Yeah.
Ah, they look
You
the same.
confused it with the Tooth Fairy,
The Tooth Fairy, yeah.
which both have like the same poster basically.
Yeah,
and the same
that's how I
concept.
got confused. Vin Diesel and The Rock look different look the same because they're bald. So.
Oh shit.
I think all the actors are here anyway. Dwayne Johnson has Jungle Cruise, and which I doubt anyone will really see. And
Yeah, it's just there's too many of the same things. Or it's like
He's never even had
The
a good
Rock
voice
in
actor.
the jungle,
Weird.
and it's kind of funny. Money,
he's the
please.
perfect example of typecast.
Well, it's the same thing with the new Ghostbusters. It's like because it was successful and Stranger Things was successful. They're like, oh, let's throw kids in the movie.
The new Ghostbusters just looks like it wants to be Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trying to ignore the fact that Paul Feig made it, which I think
I
is
respect
good.
it for its originality.
I'm looking forward
It
to it.
looks really fucking bad.
You can never
Yeah, it
trust
does
the
look bad.
marketing
It's still
anymore.
Boring.
It's like
I
the
can't,
marketing
but-
never really shows the actual tone of what you're watching unless it's like
Yeah,
good-
there was
Yeah,
like,
I mean the
there
teaser
was
for
Hey guys.
There was one joke
Frozen
in the
2
trailer
doesn't-
that the joke was so unfunny, I kind of questioned if it was even a joke.
Was it when they were under the thing, like, oh, remember that?
Yeah,
time
they
we-
go under the table, and then
Yeah,
Finn
that was
Wolfhard is just like, Finn Wolfhard is like, remember when we hid under a table last summer?
so bad.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I didn't even watch the trailer. I kind of
never
skipped
seen
through it
Dave
and was
talk about
like,
it.
well, I'm probably not gonna watch this anyway. So
All right, look. Let's be honest though. It's not made by Paul Bag or whatever his name is.
Paul Feig. Yeah.
Paul Feig.
Paul Fag.
wow,
Yeah.
All 5
Yeah,
years.
sorry.
that's fine.
Sorry for the derogatory term, but
Paul Fig
No,
Newton.
Can't hear anyone.
pathetic excuse of a person.
Yeah, he's not
Really?
great. He really loves Melissa
What
McCarthy
kind of
though.
like,
Well, I think
putting aside like his awful directing, like what like awful things does he do? Like,
Probably not.
Listen, if people don't like my movie, it's only because there's women in
Yeah,
it, alright?
it's-
Not
you-
'cause it's badly written. I don't
That-
understand it.
Yeah, the excuses that people have whenever there's like a slightly progressive or attemptedly progressive movie that is unsuccessful, they're like, well, you just confirmed my bias. Like, okay.
you know, like Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
it's
God,
a little
please.
irritating.
It can't be that
YouTube.
it can't
I'm
be
surprised he
that
hasn't.
Charlie's Angels is really, really dated, a property nobody gives a fuck about and has aged like milk.
Well, yeah, and also
But
her
no,
excuse is
it's
like
everything.
Kristen Stewart in it.
Elizabeth Banks' excuse is really weird because she's like, "Oh, this just proves that nobody wants to see a movie with powerful women in it." It's like, well, this is literally a remake off of a property that was successful. The
A
original
beloved
Charlie's
property to
Angels
mention.
was.
Probably
I mean, it wasn't
also
even the
because it's just
original,
a
but
bad movie.
yeah,
After
I mean,
that claim was made, someone went over this massive list of like female action protagonists, and there's a lot of them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Ripley from Alien
But,
comes
like,
to mind.
I mean, like, there's a huge
yeah.
difference in the marketing too. Like, when the marketing and the casting, like the celebrities that were in the 2003 or whatever Charlie's Angels, like they were really big celebrities at the time. Whereas like the cast of this new one, it's like nobody gives a shit about anybody that's in the new Charlie's Angels. You had a fucking Destiny's Child song that was like an absolute banger. You know, it was like at the top of the charts, like, oh, I'm a women who independent. Like that was a tie-in song for the movie. That was basically promotion for the movie. So like, of course the 2000 whatever version is going to be successful. Like you can't. There's so many other factors at play other than just like, oh yeah, this stars women, right? Like you have to look at the actual marketing for the film.
Well, let's face it. If we want to watch like anything that that has women in it, I guess.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Just watch old films that feature them because honestly, it does a great way of portraying them.
No, but about
And lately, I guess people have been saying Pulp Fiction is watched by white supremacists. And
What the fuck?
No.
What?
Is it because they say the N-word sometimes?
probably because they
Every
shot
movie
Marvin
can
in
be
the
watched
face.
by a white supremacist. Technically, they can watch
Even
whatever
though
movie they
one
want.
of the main characters and like
on Twitter.
probably the most famous character from that movie is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
supremacist.
if there's anything that's like a unanimously loved property or pastime by like majority male audiences, I think it's like on the chopping block for a lot of these people. Like video games, right?
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino movies, superhero movies,
It just makes
like
me
anything that's like a overwhelmingly male successful property. It's like, this is problematic. Like, okay.
Well, it makes me laugh whenever I hear. It makes me laugh whenever women say video games empower the male fantasy because I don't know. I like flying spaceships. I like farming and in virtual video games.
I'm just wondering.
I just want to romance Garrus.
Yeah.
I like committing petty crimes with gay foxes.
Gay foxes.
Did anyone see the really fucking bad Game Awards this year?
I did.
I watched
It wasn't worth my time.
What happened?
I watched through it just for one like,
game of the year, though, so at least Death Stranding didn't win that.
Yeah, I was expecting at least some good announcement, but there was like nothing. There was
Does anyone,
long and drawn out.
Does anyone even care about the new Halo game? I don't know.
No,
like,
have you seen the new Xbox? The new Xbox looks like shit.
I love it.
It looks even worse than the original Xbox One.
I actually think it's their best.
Microsoft.
I almost got an Xbone just for a 4K Blu-ray, but apparently the PS5 is going to be one. So
Yeah.
You don't need an Xbox One.
The 4K Blu-ray player on the Xbone is not great. Like, it does the job most of the time, but it has some issues. So I think I might replace it with the PS5 when that's out. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm in the real minority here then.
I know
I
was there.
It's I'll beat it. It's really long and some parts are really stupid, but it's interesting enough, I guess. Like it's weird enough.
You're gonna beat what?
Death Stranding?
Do you like Death Stranding, Adam?
Kind of.
You think you're like
Oh, yeah.
It's just exploring and repetitive. I don't know if I can be bothered.
Would you say that it is a fun game?
It's really tedious and some parts are fun, but it's more just like I want to like get to the end.
Honestly,
I mean, it's just
tedious, like you said. Yeah,
I gave it 5
I haven't
hours.
even watched gameplay of it yet. I wanted to buy it, but I've just been hearing so many mixed things about it.
I'm mixed on my opinions. Like Kojima is one of my favorite fucking people, and Metal Gear is like my favorite franchise. So I definitely want to see it to the end. But
I don't know.
I'm very mixed.
I just feel like he's getting a free pass because Kojima's made it. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
His name's not attached
People
to
are
it. I'm
afraid to
happy.
criticize it
part of
because
it-
he's behind it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think part of it is
the
just
hype was
that
too
people are
overwhelming.
still. I think the hype has to do with people still really disappointed about Silent Hills.
I'm still really upset.
It's
You
like
really
here's our
should-
replacement for Silent Hills.
The pedestal that people
I
put
wonder
the
if
game
you
on
could
before it
change
was
the
even
IP.
released was like unrealistic and unattainable. So
Like No Man's Sky.
Hey,
In
to
a
its
way.
credit,
Say
at
that.
least it's better than No Man's Sky. I have yet to see gameplay of it because I am curious.
I didn't want to give it 20 hours to get good. 20 hours is ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah. For me, if a game doesn't like get to me in like 3 hours, I usually don't finish it.
Yeah, and I give it 5 hours, and I know you're supposed to give it like 15, but no thanks.
This is all there is to the game. Yeah, it's
Not
kind of
gonna lie,
those.
I've given up on games for petty reasons. Like
There's like a quote where if nothing happens after the first reel of a movie, then nothing's ever gonna happen. So like if you play the first 2 or 3 chapters of a game and nothing's happening, then what's the point of even trying to finish it?
Fucking Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why some people like it. I can see why people don't like it. I'm somewhere in between.
I think I like it a lot, but I'm not sure yet. I still have to like get more through it.
The atmosphere
like
and
it a
music,
lot.
like,
Sorry about that.
the art direction was all great, but it's hard to play.
Kojima's fucking
There's
great.
some things to appreciate
Kojima
about
is
it. It is a little pretentious too.
Yeah.
Kojima's just. It's hard to say.
I think that's just Kojima.
I love his story. I think he's one of my drawn inspirations for like dialogue writing.
Mm-hmm.
And
he
knows how to tell a
think
story
Kojima-
through words.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would say
He just wants
Kojima
to
is
make
like,
a movie.
I think he'd be great at that. Even though I don't know.
I'm
I don't
not
think he'll be a good
convinced.
film director.
Yeah, me neither.
Kojima, when writing dialogue, he can be great a lot of the time, but a lot of
that's
people
too-
like say
He's
a
not
lot
good
of
at cutting it
actors
down.
are
He's not
too
good.
much.
He's just too much of it. It's too much of it. It wouldn't work as a film.
Oh,
Yeah, I
great.
don't know what a movie from him would be like. I wouldn't.
Okay.
There is a lot of, I don't know, what do you call it? Exposition.
I mean, people have
Yeah.
basically made fun of Metal Gear Solid for being a movie.
Ooh, boy.
With like how many fucking cutscenes there are.
The fourth game is just like what 75% cutscenes. It might even be higher. I'm not kidding. Like the fourth Metal
Well,
Gear
the
Solid.
fourth, I think the fourth game is a little too far, but
It's at least 50% cutscenes, though, isn't it? Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, the fourth
Definitely, at
game is,
least.
Maybe it's just
Ridiculous.
like, well,
Oh my gosh. Okay. What the fuck? All right,
Mhm.
so I went on it. So I got
It's fine.
amiibo cards from Etsy. The
Yeah.
fucking envelope is like cut open and the cards are missing.
Oh shit.
What the fuck?
Oh, and look at this. We care.
Was that like the TSA?
Ironic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, did anyone watch any movies today?
is there a number
Postal
you can
Service?
call, or
Oh god.
Adam,
I'm gonna rip USPS a new one when I get off this call.
Six
Mhm.
Underground. What the fuck was that?
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
It's Michael Bay at his absolute worst. Honestly, every like
I
Michael
saw
Bay
the trailer.
trope
It
is
looks,
in it.
it looks
And
fucking
it's
abysmal.
2 hours of it, and it is just awful.
What
It's
is
getting
this?
good reviews. I have no idea why. Six Underground on Netflix.
Oh.
Ryan Reynolds.
It's just
The
like
Free
all of
Guy
his
trailer?
worst attributes for 2 hours.
Weird.
Fast editing, not complete nonsense.
That's a shitty looking poster.
Shit. Joe.
Oh,
One second, guys. I'll be back.
Oh,
You guys see the
what poster are we talking about?
Six
what
Underground.
poster? The film.
I,
It came out today, I think.
Okay.
It came out today.
Last
It's just,
night,
yeah.
right after I got done watching Marriage Story, like after the credits
Well,
ended, it immediately showed the poster for Six Underground, and I was all like, "Oh boy, what a contrast!"
Oh my god.
Okay.
God.
Well, I might
I'm
see
sorry,
it.
what-
I kind of
what
need something to review right now, but
What Underground?
Alright, it's
Six
gonna be
Underground,
obnoxious, but like it's
Six-
just them
I don't know.
constantly saying like movie references and like,
Okay, someone just type it in the chat
Like,
because I can't
oh.
hear anyone.
Six
Oh.
Underground.
Six Underground. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, I really hate him now. I'm sorry.
Joey mentioned this a while ago, but and Paul does a lot of bad.
Let's see.
I actually recommend the show Freaks and Geeks. I think it's actually really good.
Oh no,
Freaks
that is
and
not a
Geeks?
good poster.
Yeah, Freaks and Geeks is a good show. But it's been forever since I saw that.
Adam,
Yeah, I
did
never
you,
really watched it.
Adam, did you ever see Black Summer? That is a terrible zombie show.
What was that? Sorry?
The Netflix zombie show Black Summer.
No, I had
And
no
I think you've got on
idea.
your watch
boy.
list. Yeah,
Black
it's really
Summer.
it's not very good. There's a lot of problems with that. Zombie.
Man,
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
Black
Some things just show
Christmas?
up on my watch list and I don't know why they're there.
It's just like it's just characters making dumb decisions like non-stop.
Okay.
It's so bad.
That's a lot of horror conflict. It's just everyone's an
Would
idiot.
be good for YMS actually. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Anyone looking forward to Resident Evil 3?
Yes.
Yes.
What a game.
I actually am.
Resident Evil
Yes,
2.
I am. Very
Actual
excited.
video
Finish
game
the
Resident
second
Evil.
one.
I think
I'm actually very excited.
The
excited.
remake of Resident Evil 2 is
Game.
Game of the Year.
Game of the year for me.
No character model looks anorexic, but
Hey, are you guys already calling Game of the Year for Resident Evil 3?
No. Resident Evil 2.
Oh, okay.
not Black
Yeah.
Panther, guys. Calm
I think
down.
that's
Play
why
much
I
of
like
Resident
that.
Evil 2, but from what I did play of it, I was very impressed.
3
I
is the
think,
only one I haven't played that actually has a number. So I haven't
The
played any of the
original
spin-off
3?
ones, but I haven't.
yeah.
Like I played 1,
Well,
2, 4, 5, 6.
Revelations 1 and 2 are pretty good.
How was 6? Because I heard it was awful.
No one
6
mentioned
was a
character
chore.
Terrible.
I forget which one did you? I forget which one did you hate more, 5 or 6?
Six,
Probably
right?
6.
Six is
Six is-
terrible.
I think 5 is for friends.
I played
6
1
was
and
just.
2.
It looked
Sorry.
like an action movie. It was like fucking exploding helicopters and shit.
Yeah, it didn't really
Let us
feel
die.
like the core of what
It
the
wasn't a Resident Evil
franchise
game
was
by that
trying to
point,
be.
Yeah, it just wasn't even.
Yeah.
It kind of deviated too
Resident Evil 2
far.
is like, oh my gosh. Resident Evil 2 is like actually pretty fucking scary. You're so ammo starved and the zombies take forever to kill.
Well,
And
yeah,
then
it's
they
once they
pretend-
decided to try and
then they
do
pretend
like
to be dead.
co-op shit, which is a weird thing to try and do in like a survival horror game, because then you're not like
It takes all the
scared.
tension out.
I think I've spent like 2 minutes pointing a gun at a zombie corpse just waiting for it to move.
Yeah, I feel like if you're to do co-op, you should strip away more from the individual player, so it can like even it out.
I actually heard somewhere they're doing a survival horror co-op game.
They are. Well,
but
they're doing like a kind of like a
They're
Dead by
bundling
Daylight
it with
Resident
3.
Evil 3.
I think it's like
Oh.
an escape the room thing where all 4 people have to work together to escape the house or something.
So what movies are left
Yeah, it's a
this
4
month?
against 1.
I played 1, 2, 4, and 7, and I liked them all.
What movie? What?
Just saying, what's left in this? What's left to be released this month?
Cats,
the remake of
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. And that's
1917.
That's next month for me.
Ni-
though.
1917.
In the UK, it's January, so
Oh,
I'm not gonna be able to see that until
My dad
January.
goes since he votes for the TGA award, so he gets a lot of screeners, and he got 19 cents.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Uncut Gems, where I am, isn't out
I
yet.
think that's January again. All the big ones left are in January.
Uncut
I
Gems
think.
comes out Christmas Eve, Brian.
I really wish that he got Uncut Gems.
Oh, Portrait of a Lady of Fires in February.
Mm.
That's annoying.
Got Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
It's not out yet in the UK, believe it or not.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
Huh.
Jojo Rabbit's
Strange.
January. We get films really late in the UK.
Is Jojo Rabbit
That's so
allowed
weird.
in Germany or?
Well, or what about New Zealand? Or
I mean, the Lighthouse isn't until like February for the UK. but
Lame.
I think it comes out in America in like January.
Yes.
I think it's
saw it
already
at
been
a
out
film
in America for a
festival,
while.
so-
Oh yeah, it's been out in America for a while. I saw it last month.
It came out on my birthday in Colorado.
I wanted
So
to
that's
see it, but
Australia's the same, I think. I think it's like February.
Yeah, I wonder.
Ooh, somebody's here.
Someone
Parasite.
yeah.
Parasite already has like a Blu-ray rip, even though it's like not out in the UK yet.
Well, I'm not gonna say how I watched it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Do I like eggnog? Yes.
We don't get till February. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny. Like my sister hates foreign movies because she has to read subtitles, but she loved Parasite.
It depends on the film.
It's the kind of film it is.
Parasite was really easy to follow. Like I had no issues with it, and
Yeah.
I get what you mean with subtitles.
It's very easily
Really
accessible.
straightforward.
I don't care about reading subtitles.
Parasite was my favorite movie of the year. Then I
Mhm.
saw Marriage Story last night. I was like,
There's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
a
of
tough
good South Korean movies.
Marriage
Oh,
Story
yeah.
is so good. Also, Adam, do you plan on chasing up that Chinese uploader who uploaded your videos?
I just want to know where they're being published. I'm not gonna like
It's not BitChute or
copy
something
strike or
stupid
something.
like that, is it?
Wait, what?
I only
I was just saying, it's not
Copy
BitChute,
strike
is it?
him.
No, I'm not. I don't.
What?
I don't really give a shit. But I'm curious about it.
Who is this Chinese uploader?
Somebody's been
It's
re-uploading
on
my
the-
reviews with Chinese subtitles, and apparently they're doing very successfully.
Yeah, it's on the Reddit page.
On YouTube or like on
Somewhere.
a different
I don't know
platform?
where.
They
I think it's
could
on
just
WeChat, the Chinese app that I use. I'm not too sure.
Oh, because he might be protected. Because if he's using like a Chinese platform, like they have different laws with that stuff.
Yeah.
He could have just asked you like, "Hey, can I add Chinese subtitles to your videos?"
Probably.
Could have just done that. PewDiePie does that with like every language.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, who do you think is going to win Best Picture? I mean, I kind of want it to be something like Parasite, but I don't know. I think they're against foreign language films for some reason.
There's a lot of
Parasite.
competition this year, And so
I mean, Roma was nominated.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
foreign language. They seem to hate foreign language films. I have no idea.
yeah, like Parasite would be
Not
a
for
good
Best
one,
Picture.
but I don't know if that would happen. I think Parasite's going to get a nomination for Best Picture.
It will win foreign language, 100%.
It will win foreign language for sure.
Yeah.
I reckon.
If it doesn't, that would be really
wouldn't
weird.
be too bad, actually.
It's just every Oscars is intentionally like America centric.
I'm kind of hoping it's not like the farewell or something. I mean, that's just too obvious.
Even though America, like, arguably may have like some of the worst movie selections a lot of the times.
Let's see.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood would be all right. That's a win, I guess.
Mikhail Haneke was right.
I guarantee they're gonna make some really poor nomination decisions, or they're just gonna pick something way out of nowhere.
Irishman would be
not
alright.
gonna think of.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would. I could.
Like Queen and Slim.
If
I know
Marriage
you'd want
Story
Parasite to
wasn't,
win, but,
if Marriage Story wasn't like a Netflix movie, then I would say for sure Marriage Story would win Best Picture. But there's this whole weird like Steven Spielberg's like fuck
Grudge,
Netflix.
yeah, it's like a weird grudge against it.
But does it pander? Does it pander to a certain demographic?
Fuck Steven Spielberg.
Actor.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood would be
Can't remember.
an interesting one.
Yeah, I was
I don't
about to
think
say.
it would win though.
Oh, I hope
Tarantino
best
won before.
screenplay.
I could see Jojo Rabbit winning Best Picture because it is really like easily
Is that a bit of a
accessible.
weird film?
Yeah, it is pandering, yeah.
I haven't
That'll
seen
be best original screenplay.
That would
So
be
wait, what was the
bad
controversy?
if it won screenplay.
What was the controversy behind Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
It's a Bruce Lee thing, right?
Violence against women.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also the portrayal of Bruce Lee that kind of pissed off a lot of people.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
Violence against
Made for
women.
comedy. It's not.
Isn't it
People
a
didn't
Charles
like
Manson movie?
People didn't like how intense.
That's a spoiler, I don't
he beat
know.
the shit out of them.
So they don't like
Nah.
harsh realities.
I loved it. That was the best part of the movie. It was hysterical.
Best pick.
I always
Adam,
hated
you
that.
watched The Haunting of Sharon Tate? Oh my god.
No, but I
It's
want to.
terrible. On Netflix.
That'll
you gotta
win.
watch
Oh, is it actually on Netflix?
Terrible. Yeah, that's how I watched it. I
It's
just
on
took it off.
Netflix.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's how I watched it.
Okay, hold
Did you see
on.
the
I
new
need to
movie
like
that they're
start
making?
writing things down for like things
Oh,
that are on
my
Netflix
God.
right now.
I mean, there's only like two.
At least it was funny bad. Like Hilary Duff was dreadful in it.
They gave her like psychic powers or some shit, didn't they?
I don't know. It's,
No, she could like foresee her death in her dreams.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
meant.
kind of the twist, but who cares?
I'd still call that like a psychic power.
But like the production company that
I mean,
made
Ralph the
Haunting
movie
of
maker
Sharon-
made a whole video on it, didn't he? And yeah,
Yeah,
that basically summed it up.
Demonetized instantly.
Big shot.
All I want to see still this year that I haven't seen yet is Uncut Gems and Portrait of
Yeah.
Wade.
Waves, I don't know what Waves is going to be like for me. 'Cause
I-
I've been hit or miss with people.
I would like to see Waves get some Oscar noms,
I don't know.
but like what it didn't get nominated for anything at the Golden Globes, did it? Which is really weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Frank Ocean score them?
Shame
Worst
Yeah, I saw
movie
that.
this year, Aladdin.
Oh well. It's what it
Escape
is.
Room.
Beyonce is gonna
I
win
know
Best
it's over.
Original Song, which is gonna be embarrassing. But
No! Lion King wins Best Animated Feature.
that's my lock.
I'm
Best
done.
Original Song is going to
Come out with-
Beyonce.
Hitting in the face of
They come out with all the Lion King Broadway costumes, and they're gonna do like a whole song and dance.
I made a video out of you responding to like the Lion King promo material,
I saw
and you
that.
could do a drinking game out of how many times you hear the name Beyonce.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Like,
It's ridiculous.
Every interview has Beyonce.
Not even
it-
just in your video, just like the
Literally.
promo material in general.
Yeah.
Like, they love her. They like really love her.
She's a part of the elite, and everybody has to kiss her feet. So
The actress who couldn't even be bothered to appear for a promotional shot.
Oh god, Seth Rogen.
Wasn't it like
Do
she
you-
recorded it at her home or something? I can't remember. Like she was the only one who recorded
there,
it live
it's
at home
it's
or
a bit more complicated than that, but yeah, she didn't like record with anybody. Like everything she did was completely separate. She didn't work with any of the actors really. She just did her own thing, and then
Yeah, it's weird.
At least Beyonce is in the movie. I don't know how to explain the royal family shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's lame.
I don't know if I could sit through it again.
What do you guys see winning this year?
I
That's
wonder.
horrible.
Frozen 2 for best animation film.
Honestly,
It's either going to be like Frozen 2 or The Lion King for animated.
It'll be Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 could win also.
Honestly,
Yeah.
this year it really
How
sucked.
many animated films came out this year?
I saw a lot of crap ones.
There's nothing good.
Yeah, like this was kind of underwhelming.
Alex said Klaus, didn't he? That one's okay, I'd say.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
Adam,
yet.
you'd probably give it like a 5 or 6 out of 10.
I don't think I'll love
It's
it.
alright.
Two was alright.
Alex never gonna discuss
Yeah, not really. Any solid like 8s or 9s, honestly.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see when the nominations are out, because
Frozen was like a 4 or 5.
Oh man.
Toy Story 4, 5 or 6 maybe.
Toy Story 4 has a big chance.
Adam, did you like or did you hate The Lion King more than Aladdin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, no contest. It's no contest.
The worst movie.
Easy, like it's just disgusting. Like it's offensive.
terrible.
It's actually offensive.
At least Aladdin was
Actually offensive.
different, like somewhat different.
yeah, it's just
Lion
a
King was
worse.
just exactly the same.
It's just a worse movie in every way.
But hey,
there's no.
at least you saw something worse than Ma. You couldn't decide whether Ma or Aladdin was worse. You have your answer now.
Yeah.
I think The Lion King is worse, frankly, but Ma is just absolutely insufferable.
How goes the YMS online, brother?
It's gonna be like 2 hours.
I'm still going through the promotional material because there's too much of it. There's literally 40 hours of shit I'm going through.
Jesus, man.
At least it's less on 1994, right?
It better
Probably
be
a
a
lot less
fucking
footage.
feature-length film.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Because like I'm just going through to try and find, good clips that I can use in the review, but it doesn't mean I'll use all of them.
Use like other review videos of said movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Was there actually?
It's just soulless, Lion King. That's the best way to describe it. It's just there's nothing to it. It's
cancer.
It's just
nothing. Yeah.
Was there actually anything good about the live action?
I'm trying to
Even the
think of
animation
anything
ain't
that was
great.
good about
The
it.
animation, like everyone says your animation's amazing.
Well,
I'm just like
James Earl Jones's really shitty line
They
delivery
show no
was at least
emotions.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, like there's technological leaps in the animation, but towards a bad goal.
It's
Like
very
it's not.
uncanny.
You can't even say the animation's good because part of the animation is like the lack of character expression and the lack of
Like John
soul and
Favreau.
personality.
Well,
Like that's all part of the
be a
animation.
cartoon.
We need to make this as realistic as possible. We need our movie about talking lions to be super hyper realistic.
He wants it to be a documentary. Like unironically, he wants it to look like a documentary.
And
I think the whole point of art is to have the most.
it's just making
Augie,
me
your
angry
microphone's
thinking
very
about it.
quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know this is my first time on a hangout, so
Oh, that's
if I'm
fine.
too loud, let me know.
No, you're fine.
My friend said she preferred this version of Be Prepared, but I don't know.
No,
What the fuck?
No.
It wasn't
That's the worst
anything.
one.
What do you?
That's the worst
How do you
one.
prefer it when it wasn't like
I
there?
don't know.
What
I didn't listen
version?
to it.
Was
They
it-
just
Of
walk
a
around in
truck and hit her
circles.
head.
They did nothing in it.
No. The thing is, again, I live in Utah. There's a lot of LDS influence
yeah.
here. So obviously they don't get to listen to actually great things.
I just can't
They
wait to
are
be king.
restricted.
Was terrible as well. There was no color to it. It was just them running in the field. There was
Oh, it
nothing
was
else
just
to
gray. It was gray and awful. And I was like, I liked all the greens, the reds, and it's like,
Yeah, my sister saw it, and the first thing she did was tell me how bad Be Prepared was,
Yeah, face palming constantly.
and then told me that it would give Adam a coronary.
Yep. It's
It was like every time, like every change they made.
yeah. There's just some really like obvious problems with a lot of what they were changing. So like,
Obvious.
well, I mean, like,
more than
so
obvious.
it's all coming from like a very weird goal. Like the Disney movies feel like they have to kind of retroactively address criticisms of the original in a way, but a lot of the times it just it adds new problems.
Made
So
plot
like
holes. It made plot holes.
they just so literally in the commentary, Jon Favreau, he's like, they changed the Rafiki breaking open the fruit at the beginning. They changed it to like him breaking open some root or whatever. And he's like, yeah, well, because we actually looked into it, and the fruit, it's actually not red on the inside, it's white, so to be more realistic, we did a root. And it's like, well, who the fuck is...
fucking cares?
And like...
Adam, I think, because the whole point of, like, art, I think, is to be as creative as you want, and I just don't see the point in being so realistic when you could just be as abstract.
Well, yeah, because if you want to be super realistic, then don't have talking or singing lions. If you want to be the most realistic movie, then don't have a story with these lions. Don't have a narrative.
There was
they
like,
shouldn't be talking.
Yeah, my favorite kind of movies.
When I took a high school graphic design class, we had to see like the behind the scenes for Finding Nemo, and it was funny watching like one of these people saying like, well, we have to make it more realistic. Fish faces don't move like this. And then someone's like, well, fishes don't talk either.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, someone needs to fucking tell that to Disney nowadays.
Or just John, really. Jon Favreau is like the biggest.
Realistic.
They gave him too much control. I think that was mostly him. Because you can hear him talking about it as if it's like a good thing.
You know, it's funny
You watch
to me.
Chef, right? Jon Favreau's Chef.
Chef is a good movie, though.
It's
Yeah, I
funny
watched
to
that
me
yesterday. It was
good
fine.
film, right?
It was pretty good.
I love Chef.
I wasn't blown away by it.
I mean,
all right.
I think
Yeah,
most people say it's
it has
good.
lacking things in it, but you know, it's a good time. I think.
I feel like if you want to be realistic, don't
no good
shoot "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" in the
Oh.
daytime.
I fucking can't with
You
that.
feel the love today.
Oh, the hate.
There's like, so people were complaining that like
fireflies.
Rafiki's character and like everything about how he influences Simba's arc was like removed
It's not even
basically.
in it, really.
And so like
Barely in it.
you have the line in the original where he like hits him with the stick and he's like, it doesn't matter, it's in the past, and then
The best part
you can
of it-
either run
He
from it
doesn't
or
have the
learn from
stick.
it, and he tries again, and then Simba dodges it, and that's like a very important sort of moment for
That's the
Simba
best
and
scene in
his
the movie, I
his
think.
character, right? And they removed that completely. And although John doesn't specifically address that scene being changed, you can tell exactly why it was changed. There's other parts of the movie where in the commentary you can hear him saying like, oh, so we didn't want Rafiki to have a stick in this movie because it was kind of unrealistic that this mandrill would be running around with a stick. So we just got rid of the stick. And then at the fight scene in the end,
Realistic.
at the fight scene in the end, they gave him back the stick. He's like, well, yeah, because it's important that he has it for the fight scene. So we just had this stick lying by this rock. So it's not his stick. He just picks it up and then he uses it in the fight scene just because, you know, that was too important. We didn't want to get rid of the stick for the fight scene. It's like, well, if
He is a
it was
fucking
important for the
human.
fight scene, but it's not
What?
important for like the pivotal moments of the character and their growth. Like, what are you talking about? Why is it? Why is
I
it?
have a fucking stroke.
You couldn't get rid of it in the fight scene, but you got rid of it at like this important
I was also
character
gonna
moment.
say,
I would have given this movie a 10 out of 10 if they had the sex in the clouds.
What if?
yeah, right.
How about this? We need to make the Dumbo movie more realistic. So we're gonna make Dumbo shove
You know
his
what?
trunk up another
Dumbo-
elephant's ass.
A lot of people shit on the new Dumbo, but it was the best of the three. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Okay.
Because
Haven't
they
seen
changed
it.
the story. They did change the story at the very
I
least.
want an edit of
I thought
Dumbo
Jungle
that
Book
puts
was
the
decent.
racist crows back in.
Okay, so
I
do
thought
you guys
Jungle Book-
know?
I wanted them to too. I did
I'm
not.
saying
I
it's
don't mind
good.
them.
That would
Sounds
literally
good.
be the only reason I would watch the movie.
There's
Actually, they made it
love
more realistic if they made it so
fucking
that
love
elephants
those.
stick their trunks up their ass because that'd be
I watched
more
Lady and the
amazing.
Tramp as well. So,
I didn't
What's
even
the
know that was
point?
out. I realized that yesterday. I was like, this has been out a month and nobody's talking about it.
Came out
What's-
free with Disney Plus.
Yeah,
What just came out?
Lady and the
Lady
Tramp
and the
remake.
Tramp.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't think
of course it
I
was
didn't think
bad. It
Jungle
was just
Book
the
was that
same
bad,
thing
to be
with
honest.
Question.
crap.
We already talked about the racist crows, but did they keep the Chinese cats?
Mm.
No.
No,
I doubt it.
think
No.
so. I got rid of the
Alright.
racist song. I know that.
Aristocrat.
I wonder if
There's
there's I
So
wonder if there's going to be like a
go on.
Okay. Remake for the Aristocrats. I don't know. Yeah.
I could see
Oh! Oh! Oh
Live
my
action.
gosh, it's hideous!
They're
Oh
definitely gonna make
no!
live action Aristocats.
Duh.
They already made cats.
Eh.
They're definitely gonna do an
Have as much
Aristocats.
taste in that as there.
So there's like
Yeah.
in the original Lion King, he brings Simba to the rock. Like Scar brings him to the rock. He's like, just wait here. I've got a present for you. Just stay on this rock or whatever. Then he comes back. Then he notices that Simba thinks it's his fault after Mufasa dies. Simba is like, I'm sorry, it was an accident, whatever. He takes the opportunity. He opportunistically decides to make him believe that he was responsible for his father's death and plays in along with that. And so in the remake, I guess they were like, okay, we need to make it more believable that Simba would think that he's responsible for his father's death. So instead of Scar saying, hey, I've got a present for you, just wait right here, he says, why don't you practice your roaring? So, like, he's literally telling him to, like, practice his roaring and then walks away. So, like, there's no real reason why he leaves at all. But I think it kind of, like...
explains everything.
It does a disservice to the logic of the scene unintentionally because his plan from the beginning wasn't, hey, I'm going to orchestrate this thing where Mufasa dies and make him believe that he is responsible for his dad's death. That wasn't the plan. The plan was to kill
Simba
him
was
and
supposed to die
Mufasa.
too.
It was an incidental moment that he just took advantage of after the fact. That wasn't his plan from the beginning, and now it makes less sense.
So they just straight up didn't understand the
Exactly.
initial incident of the movie.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
Did he get rid of Mufasa's body? Like, did like
Even though-
because like the thing
you
is
never see that, right?
They
Like, the
literally
thing is-
say it.
But like Mufasa would have a giant claw mark on his face from scars.
Oh yeah. In the remake,
Wouldn't
he
all the
slaps him,
lions
doesn't
be
he?
like, "Hey, that's a giant claw mark"? You
Or
son
if
of
they
a
just
bitch, you
talked to Zazu at any point, they would realize he was
Oh
lying.
yeah, I was about to say.
But yeah, there
Sassy
was-
saw everything this time. He wasn't knocked unconscious, right?
Well,
I don't know how
because
you would miss the theme,
in
'cause
this
it's
in this
like-
one he pretends that he didn't get there in time, and that's his story in the remake. Is like, I didn't get there in time, but Zazu knows he was there, and so if any of them had just
And
talked to
it's just-
Zazu at any point, they would realize he's lying. But instead, that just doesn't happen until the end.
That's bullshit.
So I don't know how you would even like miss the theme, because it's like specifically Scar says, "No, you fool! We're going to kill him, and Simba too."
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, there's a
John
lot. There's a
Favreau
lot
just
that's wrong with it.
forward through prepared
Sassy's
because it's
annoyed in the new
unrealistic.
one. Like John Oliver sucks.
John Oliver's the worst.
It's terrible.
Zazu is a loyalist. He's a fucking redco.
Seth Rogen can't
It's just-
sing. So bad.
It's just like
They could have gotten a
I would
vocal double
gladly
for
do
his song,
this.
and they didn't.
When they were on.
Disney does not need to keep their fucking properties like all the time. This would have
Adam, are
been
you
one
going to
they could have
say
just...
something like these actors are talented? They just were miscast, or just they didn't.
I don't
try?
think
I
John
don't know.
Oliver
What
is
are
a
you gonna
talented
say?
actor. I don't think Beyonce is a
Okay.
talented
Or an
actor.
actor.
Well,
Donald
no,
Glover
no.
works well in comedic roles, but he
Oh,
does
okay.
not work well for this role. Seth Rogen's not a great
Chill out,
actor.
obviously.
I don't know why everyone
Rogen's
gives
not a
Seth
great
Rogen
actor.
praise.
Yeah,
like-
nobody was. It's a
Trying,
mix.
basically.
There's some people that are just bad actors, and no matter what they do, and there's some people that were just terribly cast.
Oh,
I think Chill
it's
was miscast.
Knox
Yeah.
Gable.
guy.
What,
Like 12
like,
years
what
later.
did like Eric Andre contribute, or like?
He was a hyena.
what was that?
Peaceable. He was,
I
he was
know,
in-
but
he
like,
was
how
in
much?
Peaceable.
He was
It was
barely in
some
the
sort of
movie.
Space joke, wasn't it? I can't even remember. It was
I will
something
not
like-
lie.
something
Every
stupid.
time I heard Eric Andre's voice, I did grin.
It's terrible. It's just this personal space running gag non-stop. It's terrible.
Like, but every time I think of
Your microphone's
but
muted.
whenever I hear Eric Andre,
Who's doing this?
Corey,
Not me.
it's your fault, Corey.
Who's not wearing headphones right now?
Who's not wearing headphones right now?
We're getting an echo.
I'm wearing headphones.
Corey. Okay, there we go.
I'm wearing them.
Yeah. But every time Eric Andre was, speaking, I at least grinned because, all I thought about was all, I don't know, Bird Up or something.
Here's another problem I have with the line.
I'd like to imagine a hyena in a green tight suit.
Yeah.
Listen, Bird Up!
They made Timon and
worst
Pumbaa
show
like
on
the most
television.
unfunny characters in the film. They're just like all the improvised jokes are terrible.
God damn it.
Yeah.
It's just,
They had this weird, obsession, because, again, there's, an attempt at over-explaining things, I don't know, there's this, almost an idea that, the original somehow didn't do a good job with certain things, when the original movie is, basically perfect, right? Sure, there's a couple flaws, but,
close,
what they're aiming at
Matter of
fixing isn't, something that needs to be fixed, and so they have this...
nitpicky at best.
They change... They have this weird obsession in the film with trying to enforce the philosophical aspects in a very black and white way. So instead of oh, Hakuna Matata means no worries, and then Simba finds out okay, perhaps even though you shouldn't dwell on the past, you can still learn from it, etc., etc. That's what happens in the original. In this one, they're literally they impose this idea that the Hakuna Matata philosophy is just wrong. There's no two ways about it. It's just wrong. And so they include lines where Seth Rogen and Timon, I forget the actor's name, where they're yeah, well, Hakuna Matata, life is meaningless. They literally say life is meaningless. And they say life is like a line, and you start at one end, and then you get to the end, and then you're done. There's no circle, and it's you're really just there's no nuance anymore. You're literally just imposing this idea that their philosophy is wrong, and he had to learn how wrong it was. And then when they show up at the end, they're like, "What? I thought life was meaningless. I thought you shouldn't care about anybody. Why are you helping me?" They're like, "Yeah, I guess we're hypocrites." And it's fuck off.
How is this movie 30 minutes longer? It's
not gonna lie, Hakuna Matata, philosophy-wise, when I first heard it, the first thing that came to my mind wasn't really nihilism.
Yeah, I thought nihilism.
It's not supposed to be. It never was.
I know. It's
another thing I really hated.
I guess John Favreau thinks it's nihilism.
It was the Mr. Pig joke, the Mr. Pig joke.
There's
It's fat shaming now in the new one.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
So
I'll be right back, guys.
There is one thing I hate the most, and that is nihilism. Because to me, nihilism is just saying, they're not taking in the most of life.
Mm-hmm.
And
it depends on. There's different branches of nihilism, and that's not always true. There's nihilism that's nothing matters, and nihilism that's nothing matters. Let's do what we want.
I think there's also there's some people who consider them to be selves as nihilists could just I feel like nihilism could be applied to someone who might be just a realist when it comes to things in the world.
Yeah.
Whether or not that makes you a pessimist or
yeah. But the pessimist nihilist view where it's nothing matters.
I mean, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that one line from Parasite: "The best plan in life is a life with no plan."
Not to bring up anything of religion, of course, but I always believe that, and not talking in a religious sense, actually, I believe we do have consequences for the others after, and I care about that. I don't want to die and have that. Well, obviously not before, after the thought, but I want to think, before I die, oh, I'm going to leave these people feeling awful or what have you.
Life is meaningless, yo.
This is my conspiracy theory. What if they put that in the new Lion King to appeal to Chinese viewers? Because in the Chinese Lion King game, all of those characters commit suicide.
Yeah. Exactly. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay.
It better
What if
not
it-
win Best Animated Feature.
This is completely random, but what if for the Oscars they had Will Smith for Best Actor for what's it called, Gemini Man, and then younger Will Smith for Supporting Actor from Gemini Man.
He'll be in the Razzies. He'll be in the Razzies. Like best
I don't
worst couple.
know why I just thought of that.
Be like worst screen couple in the Razzies.
I have no idea why I thought of that.
Honestly, the Razzies are kind of trash too.
They will be saying stupid like that. Worst screen couple: Will Smith and young Will Smith. That's what he'll get.
Oh, you
Beyond the trailer gave it a positive review, but of course she did. So you know.
Who gave it a positive review?
Ralph was
Beyond
like the
the
only
trailer.
positive person on Gemini Man. Ralph.
I'd like to imagine, again, to bring up Neil Breen, I'd like to imagine a Neil Breen remake of Lion King, except it's Neil Breen wearing a fucking mane.
John Favreau.
Simba, remember who you are.
Remember who you are.
Mufasa, I can't believe you committed suicide.
No, it'd be like fucking Scar comes down from the gorge and it's like, Simba, I can't believe you killed your father. Can't believe you killed your father.
It's
How
Lion
could you
King,
have done
except
this? How
everyone's
could
played
you
by
have killed your
Breen.
father?
What's that Mufasa line? Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
But yes.
That is like, that is proof that they don't care. That
He was just
they
reading off the paper. It was for the
They went-
first take.
The fact that they went with that take just showed me they don't give a shit
He
about the
sounds
movie.
way too old in the movie.
I mean, it's hard to be.
And it's
too
funny
old.
because
It's
like
80.
they're like
It's 80 now.
there are like interviews of Jeremy Irons around the time when this movie got made, and it's like he sounds fine. He doesn't sound like he's.
And he's what, 70 maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. James Earl Jones is like he was really, really old even when he recorded the first Lion King, and now he's just
was
like
he when
dying.
the first Lion King was recorded?
1994.
Oh, I don't know.
Was he?
I don't know. He
I
had
know,
gray hair.
Wait, which one? James Earl Jones?
Yeah.
I think he's about
Hold
60.
on.
I think he was about 60.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of old.
You ever see The Mission?
No.
From the 80s? That also stars Jeremy Irons. It's a really good movie. With
Okay,
him.
he's 88. How long ago did the first Lion King come out?
94. 25 years ago.
25 years ago.
Still old. I mean, I wasn't alive.
I don't think I ever saw it in the cinema. I would have been 3 years old, but I don't think I saw it in the cinema.
Yeah, he was in his
did, and I
60s.
hated it because it traumatized me as a kid.
Yeah.
But it is an amazing film.
Oh my goodness.
Mufasa's death scene is like one of the
really
most
one of the best
traumatizing
scenes.
scenes of
It's one of
like
the best scenes of all time.
most
Yeah,
children's
that's fair.
childhoods.
And somehow they fucked it up.
From what I heard, people in the theater laughed.
Yeah, they were laughing.
Yeah, I laughed.
In the new one, yeah.
I tried not to. I tried not to because my friend was sitting next to me. And
It is
so,
embarrassing.
Simba's, no.
so we were in a
Yeah.
small theater.
It's terrible.
I had to literally sit like.
I guess
That's
I
when I
had no
knew
choice
it was
but
a
to
1
watch
out of
this
10.
movie.
They just made it funny. Like, it shouldn't have been funny. It should have been an
It was
emotionally draining
cancer.
scene.
It's just
The best part
cancer.
of that,
Just cancer.
best part of that is that they had the Cats trailer when I went to see it, so that
Yeah.
was enlightening.
I'm seeing cats.
That was very enlightening.
I'm so excited.
Imagine that's. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna say because that's the spoiler of a different.
I would-
movie, never mind.
I would rather watch the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat than
I'd
watch.
rather watch anything.
No.
Really,
No,
Mike Myers,
I
the
don't
Cat in
know.
the Hat.
If I were to be
It's one of my favorite
subjected
I
movies.
don't know.
Hey, at least
I
looking
don't
at the
know.
at least looking at the trailer at the new Cats movie, the singing isn't bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, oh dear.
I mean, they're gonna put all of their effort into the singing because that's all that they really have.
It's
Yeah.
probably going to be like a 3 or 4 out of 10. I don't know. I mean, it's
That's
got
a-
production.
I'm not
value
expecting to
behind
enjoy it much.
it. Adam will probably give
I
it like a 2
actually
or
didn't like
something.
Nightingale at all. The new Jennifer Book movie.
Oh,
Whatever.
Nightingale.
I
Jennifer
heard that the director of Cats said that the effects were unfinished.
Oh
I don't know
no.
if I believe
Tom
Are
him.
they
Hooper?
now?
Yeah, I don't know if I believe him. Like,
Has he really
They
made
should
any
hire
good
the Sonic the
films? I'm
Hedgehog
trying to
guys.
work
So
out.
not ugly enough, okay?
Is this Danish girl him? I can't remember.
He did. I think he did Les Mis and.
Oh, King's Speech.
King's
was him,
Speech
yeah.
was
King's
good.
Speech.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's
King's
alright.
Speech
which
was...
Les Mis? The one with Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
Jibber.
I don't think I'll ever watch that.
my name.
I've seen a couple clips. I don't think I'll actually watch it.
What?
He can't
What
sing.
is- It's not too bad.
Wait, what?
Russell
It's,
Crowe isn't in it as
Disney.
much.
Okay.
Trying
Mulan.
to
They haven't
think
done
what the
Mulan
last
yet.
musical I really liked was that wasn't like animated.
Oh yeah, the actress
Sweeney
from
Todd,
Mulan got in
maybe? When was
trouble.
that?
2007.
Sweeney Todd must have been a long time
2007.
ago. That's like the last
2007.
genuinely good one, I'd say. I'm trying to think.
Wait, how did the actress from Mulan get in trouble?
I think she basically just supported police brutality in China.
Yeah. She's like, fuck the Hong
Whoopsie-daisy.
Kong protesters. But
Ruh-roh.
I don't know. Are you even
China.
allowed to support the Hong Kong protesters if you live in China? Like,
No.
Yeah, I'm not
Her family lives
sure.
there.
I think you'll be prosecuted if you
Yeah.
I don't think the Hong Kong riots were going on when it happened, though.
when what happened?
No, they were. They were like right. It was like right when the protests were going on.
Yeah.
And they still
Okay.
are.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard the story a while ago.
That's
Just didn't start
great.
thinking about like all the crazy shit until fucking like the Blizzard incident.
Oh yeah.
No, that's what really got me. Well, okay, so I've heard bits and pieces about the riots, but once Blizzard hit the scene with this whole bullshit, that's when I kind of saw it.
Mhm.
What?
That was a subsidiary of Blizzard. Like I think it was Blizzard Hong Kong that did that, not Blizzard overall. I think this is what I heard.
It's
I think
It
no
was
matter what.
no Blizzard. No,
had full
Blizzard as a
control.
company banned him because of some Hong Kong
Yeah.
controversy.
I'm so glad that I saw through their non-apology though.
Anyone could see through their non-apology. It was made of
Not-
fucking transparent glass.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? I heard the audience and they were just fucking going mad over that. They're like,
Are
"Oh
you
yeah,
sure
they
they didn't,
finally
like-
apologized." Oh,
Are you
boy.
sure they didn't edit it in? Like, because it's the fakest corporate apology I've heard in my entire life. Like, honestly, they don't even say what they're apologizing for.
Do you think the Chinese army was in there? just
Mhm.
Right behind
Clap!
the camera.
yeah, clap, you sons of bitches.
Blizzard.
Ching chong.
Blizzard wasn't even at
I
the
should
Game
do
Awards this year. They were.
Hmm.
They were as far away from the spotlight as possible.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, they goofed it.
gonna
Hey
say it.
guys, it's us. We have the new Hearthstone expansion pack.
I'm not gonna lie
Coming
though.
to the Game Awards.
Yeah,
oh,
people
and
will still buy
Overwatch
Diablo.
2.
Is World of Warcraft
Yeah,
still around? I
yeah.
have no idea.
World of Warcraft?
People are
I'm sure
trying to
there
get
is.
Overwatch banned in China. They want to turn an Overwatch character into like a pro Hong
Oh,
Kong
yeah.
symbol.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
May.
that's old news,
They're
but-
drawing May as a communist. Yeah.
I didn't even realize how bad that is because they did announce Overwatch 2, which would have been huge to have at the Game Awards, and that's a really big loss for them not to announce it there.
Mm.
Also, there was like an Overwatch Switch release, and they were supposed to do like this big Nintendo World thing, but they pulled
Yeah,
out,
they
and Nintendo
really
is just like,
fucked up.
let us explicitly state this is their fault.
Yeah.
We are throwing them under the bus
Yeah,
because
good.
they belong there.
We
Yeah,
are a
no,
Japanese
they-
company. We're
Wow,
staying as
wow,
far
wow.
away from this shit.
Mhm.
I love Nintendo for that sole reason too.
Yeah.
I've always loved
Yeah.
Nintendo because they know how to
Yeah.
handle
I
things.
don't know. I'm stuck.
Nintendo.
They have problems with
Nintendo
China
can be a
too.
hit and miss, but most of the time I feel they do.
Wasn't
more
there a
hits
lot of
than-
Nintendo
problems
has
with,
their
like,
issues,
YouTube
but-
copyright?
I feel like
Nintendo has their
Nintendo is a lot
issues, but
better
they're-
than most.
when it comes to public outrages, they know how to handle them better than most.
Yeah, they had that
Yeah.
copyright issue, but for the most
Yeah.
part, they're like one of the least corrupt companies, and they actually make art.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
agree.
mean, they've
I think
made
Nintendo's
so many
one of my
beautiful
favorites in
games
that
and all.
regard.
Well, I
When
don't
was the
think
last time Nintendo put out a game that was like genuinely
Mario.
bad?
Mario Party
I'm sure there's a
100.
bad.
There's
There's some
dud.
bad ones out there.
There should be a few duds from the. I don't
A
know.
lot of
There
people
are
don't
some,
like
was
but-
controversial,
Superman 64. Yeah.
that wasn't them.
Mario 3D
It's made
Land.
by Nintendo.
Nintendo
that was a
didn't make
Nintendo
Superman 64.
Okay, well, I don't know.
They put the
Yeah, I'm trying to think of Disney's own good dinosaur. Like it's got to be something that
I don't
all forgot
Okay,
about.
that's like
I mean,
I mean,
Good Dinosaur
a couple of
was
the
kind of
Mario
Disney.
parties are pretty bad.
I like that. I actually enjoyed Dinosaur.
Good
the
Dinosaur.
one from 2000.
Oh, that's
Dinosaur from
different.
DreamWorks? That was a decent one.
Yeah, they're talking about Good Dinosaur.
Well, I was talking about Dinosaur 2000.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
I remember enjoying that when
I
it was
like
out,
that one.
but I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
I'll have
remember
to
most
watch
of
it
that
again.
movie. I remember there was like a T-Rex outside a waterfall, and then I forgot the rest.
Yeah, it wasn't like super memorable, but I remember enjoying it when I was a kid.
Monkeys.
Probably
I thought it was like a product of the time. You know,
Here's
it
a
was
fun
like
challenge.
a big product of.
Name a movie that's forgettable.
The
Golden Compass.
Abominable one I watched like this year. That was
Golden
terrible.
Compass, that's a great one.
Golden Compass, that's a good one.
Life. The space horror movie Life. It's forgettable.
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Fear.com.
City of a Thousand
Abraham
Planets.
Lincoln and the Vampires, or Abraham Lincoln
A
Vampire
lot of the
Slayer.
Netflix original films are quite forgettable and bland.
Dracula Untold.
Jack the
That's
Giant
Darko.
Slayer.
Assisted Living Dracula.
The BFG is in a new one.
Have you guys?
Dracula.
Avatar's fucking.
Yeah, nobody
forgettable.
saw the BFG.
That was like the highest.
It wasn't really forgettable. That was like one of the biggest grossing movies
No, I
ever.
think
So
Avatar's.
Independence Day Resurgence.
You know, it kind of makes me laugh because back in middle school, everyone hated Avatar for the sole reason that it was just a ripoff of Pocahontas.
Well,
How
I
about
mean,
anything
it's-
Morgan Spurlock
I think the
directs?
concept wasn't that original to begin with.
Besides me once, alright, I think.
Oh no, I made people angry
Yeah.
because I was like, well, Pocahontas is a ripoff of Dancing with Wolves.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not that original of the concept, so.
Well,
you know.
isn't The Lion King a ripoff of Hamlet? Like,
And Kimber
pretty
the
much.
White Lion.
Pretty much.
And Kimber the White
I
Lion.
mean,
Yes.
presentation
Not
Not
matters
really any
too.
similarities apart from like.
And speaking of
Oh
which,
my
like, they keep delaying like Avatar 2, like it's going to be released in like 2 years, I think. You know,
Yeah, it's weird.
That was next year.
it's so weird. Like,
All right.
Because now that Disney owns
Yeah.
Fox,
Five
they're like, we
plan.
don't want it competing with these other properties we're doing.
I liked
yeah.
I liked that tweet they made where they like pretty much admitted we're making too many avatars and then deleted it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well, isn't the second one next
Yeah,
year?
it's so
Like,
strange.
how
Like,
not to market?
it was supposed to
that.
come out in 2017, then they delayed to 2020, and now it's the end of 2021. Well, yeah, but it's almost nearing 2022 if it's
And there's
going to be
four
released
of
in.
them, right? Is it 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I think
right,
they have
this
up
movie
to
will
the fifth
suck.
one planned.
Oh god, there's a fifth
You
one.
fuckers are gonna watch it anyway.
I guess
If the
I-
second
Yeah,
one
I mean,
bombs,
does
that would
it-
be so funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just we're losing our patience with
I'll wait
want it
till I know
to.
it's good for sure.
I want
It's
them
like-
to give it a bigger budget than the first one and then bomb.
Yeah, because they planned 5 movies. They're really like
yeah,
kind of a
it's so
gamble.
strange.
Watchmen
Like,
approach.
so
Or they could do the
strange.
HBO Watchmen approach and just paint everybody blue.
Isn't Connected to New York a ripoff of Life?
Yes.
I don't know.
I've never seen that show,
Yes,
but I saw like that one screenshot of Dr. Manhattan and I thought it was a college humor parody.
The Watchmen HBO is good. I think there's some episodes that are not as strong as like
Heard about
episode
it.
5.
I don't know if I'll ever
Episode
watch
5.
it.
Did you watch The
I just
Boys?
don't
The
like
Boys
what
was
they
alright.
I haven't seen
The
that
Boys
yet.
is wonderful.
I kind of wanted to do that on
Has some
the
good
like
moments
the
on
Twitch
it. Has
watch
some good
party
moments in
thing,
it.
but it's only for Americans. So
It
Do you
is
have
such
Amazon
a
Prime?
good
VPN,
I have
yeah.
Prime, yeah, but the watch party thing is like America only right now. I don't think it's ever
Joe
going to
Adventures
expand
this
outside
year.
America because like people are dumb when it comes to like licensing and shit. So,
Wait, so can you not use VPNs?
but it would have to be through my like Twitch account, right?
It wouldn't work.
A great HBO show I recommend is Barry.
Yeah, I heard good things about it.
With Phil
Oh
Hamer.
man.
It's
I
really
still
good.
can't believe Adam's most disliked videos to Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
so
I don't
weird.
know.
Yeah,
that is weird.
That was
That's
so
the one
weird.
that struck a nerve.
Everybody
with
I
everyone.
talked
I
to really
attacked
doesn't
their
like it.
identity, I guess.
Yeah, on Reddit,
what?
I talked shit on
I don't
Detective
think the-
Pikachu
I
and
don't
got a
think the
bunch of
character's still that great,
downvotes.
honestly.
Oh, I thought it was
but-
terrible.
And then I was
saw it
actually kind of
recently.
caught off guard where it's like, wait, people like this?
Yeah, it was really weird. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Really
It caught me by surprise.
All
It's
right.
more like
Oh,
of a
awful.
backlash than Endgame, I'd say.
Yeah.
How about this question?
It's gonna happen
Good,
with Sonic.
forgettable movies.
Titan,
forgettable
well,
movies.
Atlantis
I
from
would
Disney.
I would say
For me.
Elephant.
For me.
I would say Elephant by Gus Van Sant.
Oh, and that well made film.
I don't think there's a movie I would consider good that is also forgettable.
Well, it's like you're
I
like,
don't
okay,
know.
that was
So does 10
decent.
to forgettable
Do you
movies.
mean like forgettable as like people have forgotten about it, or do you mean forgettable as like we would just forget about like after a day or something?
And when you give something a
it's
6,
just
that's
like it's
above
lost over
average, right?
Well, to be
Yeah.
probably no one's gonna agree with me. But I
Okay,
thought
so wouldn't like
London is
Can You
Fallen
Ever
is
Forgive
alright.
Me count?
What
No
is
one's
it?
gonna agree with me. London has
I
Fallen.
thought-
Like it was kind of alright for what it was, but I've already forgotten about it. So
I thought you were just talking about like underrated because Elephant is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that's a better word than forgettable.
I guess we could say
Underrated.
underrated.
Yeah, for me, it's Atlantis from Disney. So
Treasure Planet.
I haven't actually thought about that movie for years.
Treasure Planet was good, except for the
Oh, yeah.
robot.
yeah. That was a really fun movie.
The same guys.
I
who
could try
made
watching
Klaus,
it again. I think I watched it when I was younger.
I got
it
freaked
bombed,
out.
unfortunately, from what
I
I
got
understand.
freaked out when like that captain dude was killed.
There was, I haven't seen it, but I have heard of another movie called The Treasure Planet, which is an animated film, but apparently it's like so bad it's good.
Is there any
So it's like
bad
rip-off,
animated
or-
films?
No, it came out before the Disney one.
Oh, seriously? Oh.
I mean,
Pity
Food
or
Fight's just
not-
bad. It's just it's
Pity or
nothing.
not is but forgettable. I think.
Yeah.
It has its moments, but it's not anything to write home about.
Oh, I was going to ask you guys. So, say you're a manager at my place. Like, I work at a dog kennel.
Mm-hmm.
If another manager were to kick a dog, but you were over them, how fast would you fire them?
Immediately.
Pretty quick.
You're not about to tell me a manager
You
kicked
kicked
a
my dog.
are you?
Oh, no. So
that's
what
an
happened
obvious.
is there's this manager who keeps dogging me, no pun intended, because I keep talking to people apparently, and I haven't been doing it much, but he would still like get after me if he just caught me doing it once.
Mm-hmm.
And but I guess he's been kicking dogs, and he was coached for it.
Nice.
Great.
And
It
so,
depends on where.
oh, you mean like where he kicked them?
Yeah, where does he kick them? In front of customers or behind their
Oh,
backs?
behind their backs.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Are
I
you
thought you
kidding
meant
me?
Oh,
where on their body.
That too.
no.
That too.
Usually
you
on
kick
their
them in the
stomachs,
face,
which
and
is
that's bad.
horrible. And
No,
in
no,
their
you kick
face.
in their hind
Horrible
leg.
either
You gotta kick
way.
in the hind leg.
Like, you should never kick a dog.
No.
You should
No.
never
No.
kick a dog unless if it's
What if it's just a
coming after
boop with your
you
foot?
or latched.
Yeah, if a dog is like
Just
trying
on
to
the
kill
nose.
you, you can
Yeah,
kick
if
it
it's
as hard
going
as
to
you
fucking
want.
murder you, then you should probably kick it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like,
Actually,
know,
fun
what was
little
that
tip.
YouTuber's
If you guys
name
are
that
ever
was,
if you see someone getting attacked by a dog, choke it out
Huh.
because it needs to breathe.
Okay.
So
Needs
open its
to
mouth.
breathe. What isolation?
If a human is trying to murder you, choke
Well,
it
no.
out. It
Okay,
needs to
so if it's
breathe.
latched onto you and you try pulling it off, it's gonna start digging deeper.
Mm.
So
So
just strangle it. All right.
you have to use the blade of your arm to choke it out.
Okay.
Then it will open its mouth. So
I'm sure this will help me in the immediate
Just shove
future.
Your fist down the throat. Just shove it down the throat.
yeah, you'll remember this exact moment when you see someone being attacked by a dog. It'll like
Well,
be a
that
full fucking flashback.
maybe not, because there were a couple of small dogs that were killed by a coyote not far from here. And I've had to like watch my dogs just to be safe. Like, if I get bit by a coyote, I know what to do.
Get a rabies shot.
Well,
exactly.
But I saw this. I saw this video, and it was like a bunch of people trying to save this mailman from being mauled by a dog,
Mm.
and the idiots like threw trash cans at the dog, like not just the small ones, like the full fucking barrels, and just like threw it on the dog and then bit down harder, and someone decided to take a rope and
Jesus.
choke it out.
Don't assault a dog unless you're only using
Oh, and
blade.
nobody put a leash around the dog, and it went after this like another neighbor.
I've been watching Judge Judy. There's a lot of dog cases on that where it's like somebody will just a dog will attack another dog, and it's like, well, you didn't have it on a fucking leash, like.
Yeah, that's
What are you
your
doing?
fault. If it's not on the leash.
Anyone here hear of the YouTuber Wang?
Yes.
Yep.
He posted a story on Twitter about how apparently like PETA used meat to lure a chihuahua up away from like a 2-year-old girl, and they took it and they ended up putting it down anyway.
Yeah, PETA's weird.
Also,
I don't know what their deal is.
Weird. Okay. No, fuck PETA. Honestly.
Yeah, fuck
them.
PETA.
They're disgusting.
Sure, that chihuahua was
I had some guy who tried to put me down because I said fuck PETA.
They tried to
he was like-
euthanize you?
No. So he was like,
fuck PETA.
Well,
Ugly.
I said like, where's PETA on this shit? Oh yeah, because they're worthless and not doing anything important except bitching about meaningless stuff. And this guy was like, well, they're actually like saving a bunch of animals. And I said, well, all the stories I've heard is about euthanizing animals off of people.
They kill a lot of them.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, maybe they were in pain. I was like, okay, and maybe you don't support euthanizing animals, so you just rather see them in pain. I was like, all right, well, first and foremost, let me write this essay that's like 5 paragraphs long about my beliefs on euthanasia.
Yeah, next time you talk to this guy, tell him about the story I just told you about how they killed a little girl's chihuahua.
Oh, yeah. Let me
there's
see.
some bad ones.
Yeah.
I think
Also, they're really bad at PR. Because I've hated them since I was a kid, because it's like, oh, let's make fun of Mario and Pokemon and Kitchen Mama. And it's like, okay, make fun of things kids like. That'll make the kids like you.
Yeah, their Twitter
Yes,
account is... I only ever see it whenever they tweet something stupid.
You know, for my film club, I think I'm going to use 2001 because I think that's not only one of my favorite movies by my favorite director, but also because I think it's one of the only movies that you should really only see in a big screen theater.
All right, let me see.
Yeah, or if you have like a really good setup.
2001 on a big screen. I've only seen it
Because I
on
feel
like
like
a little
with
screen.
that or Lawrence of Arabia,
Mhm.
like
All right, let's see.
Yeah, 2001's
Imaginary
great.
Fanboy says, next step for PETA is to euthanize furries.
Uh-oh. They're in pain.
Why
By
about
the
you
way,
euthanize the
I was
cats
just reading.
from the
I was just
movie
reading the chat.
Cats? Or-
I was reading the chat and somebody said, "What if a furry is biting you, but you're enjoying it? Just let it fucking happen, you know."
Gotta
Hey,
put her
Adam,
down.
What's your thoughts on the film Nightingale, the Jennifer Kent film?
What are my thoughts on Nightingale?
I personally did like it. Yeah.
Gave it
I
a
personally
Didn't you say it was like too long or something? I can't remember.
I'll go to my notes because I did take notes
a friend
for
of mine
it.
just gave it an 8.
It's quite long, isn't it? It's quite long.
It's all over the shop, personally.
It was a very ambitious movie, but
Yep, I'll agree with that.
just barely below the bar for like greatness for me. Good acting, good
Oh, yeah.
costume design, good cinematography, but nothing like mind blowing in any of those things. The
did
aspect
say it's close to
ratio
7,
was
right?
like an interesting choice, but it didn't really like improve the film in my opinion.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was like a purposeful choice. Some shots are great, others are lacking. It's
Oh, here we go.
yeah. There's some concepts in the film that are really brutal, and it's a very mature and professionally made film, but some of the dialogue is really stilted or delivered mediocrely. There's like a character whose accent changes like several times throughout the film, and it's really weird.
That the indigenous character was that the
Sorry, like the
which one
sidekick
was that?
character, basically.
Yeah.
His accent
Yeah, he
kept
was-
changing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it
Here we
gets
go.
better towards the end. I really like the ending. The last 30 minutes were awesome, but
It's just below good for you, yeah?
Just below great. It's good, just not.
By the way,
great.
when you guys are ready,
It's great, and then it
when you
goes
guys are ready,
real-
I found it.
That's how I felt about Knives Out. I thought it was just really decent.
I like it, but I think everyone else loves it more than me.
I know there's people who love Knives Out. I just thought they had a lot of stupid things about it.
I thought it was pretty great, but it's not my favorite movie of the year.
No.
You know, it's an
Like,
excuse to go to the movies, but I really forgot a lot of things about it.
It's
just
extremely
about got an
accessible,
8
that's for
me.
sure.
It's just about.
Yeah, it was fun.
Barely.
I enjoyed it.
Most people that watch it will like it.
Yeah.
I just think that I'm not gonna spoil it, but I just think after you hear the twist, you think that then what's the point of that from the beginning of the movie? What's
I
the
mean,
point of that?
subverting expectations, right? That's the point.
Yeah.
I gotta
Ryan
say,
Johnson.
I'm really excited.
He does it with
I'm
Last
super
Jedi
excited
as
for the
well, which I
sequel.
rewatched.
If Rian
yesterday.
Johnson fucked up your shit, call blah blah blah.
The puking thing was kind of an interesting, like, literary device.
Yeah, without spoiling too much, there's a character who
The main character.
If she tells a lie, she pukes.
Nominated for a Golden
And there's a point in the movie where they don't follow through with it because when she is like, there's like the footprints, and she like goes in the mud, and Daniel Craig is behind her, and she says like, she pretends that she can't hear him, and he's like, no, come back here, don't step over there. She's like, what? I can't hear you. And she's very clearly pretending. That's a lie, but she never pukes. So there's an inconsistency there.
Yeah.
And I almost mentioned that in my review, but I thought it would be like kind of too nitpicky.
I really could not get over. I really could not get over Daniel Craig's accent. It was so distracting.
It's so weird.
It was really.
It took me a little bit to get used to, but I got used to it for sure.
He did a good job with the accent for me.
If I'm being honest,
And Logan Lucky too.
it is
Same
a
accent.
terrible accent, but I'm glad he made it because that just made the film like way more campy.
Yeah, there was a
I don't-
campiness
yeah,
to
it's
it
a
for
good
sure.
cast.
It wasn't trying to be super serious the whole time.
Fuck, they even like make fun of him for sounding like Foghorn Leghorn at one point.
Yeah.
So like
I feel like
CSI, KFC.
It's self-aware.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
the only reason
yeah.
why they had it was because of that KFC joke. Basically.
No.
Oh yeah, so I did
KSI
find
versus Logan Paul KFC.
I did find the thing though, the post I made.
Mhm.
So what he said was, actually they're spending millions on campaigns to stop the abuse of farm animals, and I was like, I've done my research. And he called me a shit face. I said I've done my research, but I still don't like them. At least I don't steal people's pets and take them off to get euthanized.
Yeah.
And the whole farm animal thing is merely a fraction of the good they've done, and that is dwarfed by their infamy. And so he's like, okay, let's let dogs in critical conditions suffer indefinitely. Sometimes euthanasia is needed, and he's like, people shitting on PETA are fucking stupid. 60 billion. I'm reading this in a nutshell. The logic of some people: align your actions with your beliefs. And I said, wow, clearly you've got a lot of grievances, dude. In the reports, I read the owners claim that their animals were perfectly healthy and happy. Believe me, I do not believe in I do believe in euthanasia, and I believe it's necessary when it's blah blah.
I feel like this person is probably just like really biased and will argue against you to the death.
And here's the best part. So I've done my research about slaughterhouses, and I hate it when people say this is a horrible thing. A lot of slaughterhouses do painless deaths. Those who deliver a painful death should not be handling slaughtering.
Yeah, a lot of ads like about like animal protection like show like the specific slaughterhouses that are like.
Yeah,
don't
I'm not
do it
sure how much I agree with you on that. If you were an animal and like someone gave you the choice of whether or not you were being killed, like what would you say? Right? You're still like taking a life.
I don't know. I don't like talking about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But here's the deal, and it is also a part of my beliefs. I believe we were given these animals for reasons, and
it's not like documentaries like that talk about animal slaughterings and stuff. I don't know if I watch them. They're well received, but
I just hate so we've been eating meat for years. If it's really bad for us, I'm sure we'd be extinct years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the only ethical argument against eating meat. Like, you can either take it from an approach of animal welfare, or you can take it from an approach of, like, destroying the planet. Because as it is right now, it's not, like, a sustainable thing.
Oh, of course.
It's really not.
We definitely need to regulate it.
I think the problem is that a lot of the animals that we have are bred to only be farm animals, and if they were put in the wild, they would most likely just be killed off anyway.
Yeah,
or,
they'll become extinct otherwise. Yeah.
or become
Well, it's like
extinct.
an overinflated population right now. Like
especially with chickens.
What's happening with like pigs and cows is taking a huge toll on the environment because of the farming that we're doing with them. So like if they were in the wild, then they would have some sort of like population control just by natural selection in the first place. Like sure, yeah, they would get picked off by other animals, but right now there's like an overinflated amount of like cows and pigs. It's a very inefficient way to be using crops in terms of like how much energy we're getting from it in our own nutrition, because it has to go through the animals first and then to us, and the amount that we're getting is substantially less than the amount that we would be getting just by the crops alone directly into human bodies, right? So like there's way more. Yeah, like you can approach it from like many different arguments and angles, but as a whole, like the meat industry is not a good thing. So
no.
Yeah.
Perhaps if our population was like a fifth the size of what it is right now, then there wouldn't really be much issue with it at all. But overpopulation is also like human population is also a huge contributing factor to the like negative elements that come from the meat industry.
I read somewhere that we're very close to like because I think there's like some scientific like number or something that we're like at the 10 billion mark, that's where we're going to reach an equilibrium of living people and dead people, where we're never going to be able to fully exceed that amount of people on planet
Yeah,
Earth.
we're fucked. I think we're all completely fucked.
Yep.
Unless we
Hakuna
colonize
Matata,
other
life is meaningless.
places. That's like literally all we can do at this point. We would need to turn other planets into colonies and make Earth solely for agriculture.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're completely screwed. There's no good ending to this.
Initiate a purge.
Star Trek.
Unless Jesus comes and save us. Unless the Judgment Day comes.
Maybe.
But I'm Jesus.
When all my dead relatives, I want all my dead relatives to come back in skeleton armor so we can fight the demons together. It's gonna be badass as fuck, dude.
Dude, awesome.
I don't think the afterlife has confirmed yet, but I'm sure it's working on it.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, like, I'm too much of a optimist to see those kind of views is the thing.
Yeah. Whatever happens, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
We're
and
fucked.
I believe that, you know, we might see a bright future after all. Depends on how things are handled.
Yeah, not the way we're
We're all
going.
gonna die.
Not the current trajectory. There would need to be some
like-
radical changes to politics and human.
Especially after Labor
There's some guy
like
trying
the
to
way
cure
that people
aging
think.
right now, and I don't know how that's gonna work. Like,
Yeah, we're all completely
My thought
fucking
is
screwed.
like either our next generation hates, you know, what we become and tries to improve it, or our next generation thinks we're doing wonderful and worsens.
Yeah, there's
put an end to neoliberalism.
yeah, hopefully.
It all depends.
There's too much money and interest in keeping things the way that it is right now. So
Yep.
Exactly.
Or we could always have
That is
Soylent
cool.
Green.
Soylent Green.
Yum.
yeah, there's no happy ending. we're fucked.
Can the Soylent Green
Well, the sun's gonna
made of
die at some point.
billionaires?
So yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah,
That
well,
would
if
help.
we were smart, like as a species, we could like try to do space exploration and hopefully colonize another solar system so that when the sun dies, it doesn't even matter, but that's not going to happen.
Sunshine.
Yeah, we're going to like
there's no
exhaust
happy
all of
ending.
our resources before that point and
There's-
just be completely locked onto this planet and slowly die.
It won't be for a
There's
few
no
billion
happy
years.
ending. So next year. New York.
That's
Oh god.
Elon, stop going to the Game Awards, goddammit, and help us out.
Yeah.
Was Elon at the Game Awards?
Yeah, he was.
I mean,
he did.
was performing.
Gotta see White Christmas. It's so
The thing about the
Black
Game Awards
Christmas.
was Reggie.
What Black Christmas?
He was the best part.
I mean, he did do that
See,
Falcon 9
Reggie
launch.
did a fantastic job.
Zemek is in the house.
I wish I saw the Game Awards last year, but that's about all I can say. And the only reason I wish I saw it was for the Joker reveal.
Yeah.
So wait, what
That
was
was
the whole
part of
deal
that.
with the game review or the game awards this year?
There was
Nothing
basically people only watched them for the announcements, and there was nothing. There was nothing of note to it that was announced.
Nothing for Smash, which people were really disappointed
New
about.
Xbox design.
The show itself is like
I'm glad I didn't
Smash.
watch that.
I still liked it. I still like it.
I mean, I like Smash, but it's not my top favorite game.
I'm gonna be ending this hangout somewhat shortly.
Okay.
Are there
It feels
any
like this-
final questions and comments so we can make sure everybody gets to say or ask something?
I'm not gonna lie, it feels like this hangout's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah,
I mean, I only popped up about halfway, so.
But it's been a great one for sure.
Yeah.
How long are they usually?
Anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, depending on how much work I have to get done. I got some shit to do, so
He's got a lot of. Yeah.
How's the album going?
it's going well. Still working on it.
Any editing tonight?
I might be. I'm either like I'm either gonna be watching things I need to watch or going through more Lion King shit. So
He says 40 hours of interviews or something.
How was your day?
my day was fine.
I wanted to say that.
I was gonna ask.
So, do you know the IFC studios?
IFC?
Irish or something.
The movie studios.
I know.
They're like
Oh,
movies.
Say that again. What are they responsible for?
They do like a subscription service on Amazon, right?
Let me check. Hang on. But anyway, so they have a film festival for young students for short films.
Mhm.
Oh, they did Boys Don't Cry, the Central Park 5. But anyway, they have like a film festival for students, and I'm gonna try to submit a film that I'm going to eventually make that I'm currently writing right now, and it's going to be like a short film, kind of a mixture of Good Time and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Basically, it's about this teenager who is like basically playing an adult who is a junkie and gets into this like drug ordeal where is under the influence of a bunch of like different like unnamed drugs, but at the same time she has to pay back her drug dealers, and like the drug dealers are like trying to like chase her because she doesn't have the money.
Mhm.
And the whole is basically that she's basically high, but at the same time she's like running through like New York just looking for help to
Mhm.
like protect herself. And I wanted to like make it as if she's kind of like Ral Duke, like from Fear and Loathing.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you had any like tips for like screenwriting, like editing, because the movie's gonna be like highly reliant on its editing.
Have you edited anything ever?
Yeah, many times. I've done a lot of. I do my own editing for my movies.
I mean, like in you have to just be your own toughest critic. That's the only advice I can really give you, because like to make something that
it's subjective
that you
innit?
want
can't
to
really
be
say.
making, that is something that you feel strongly about. If you look at the script and try to envision it as reading from someone who is not you, think about what would make sense to an audience member that isn't you, right? And still have something that you're happy with, but like try to have it make sense in a way where things are communicated in a way that you would want them to be, right?
Yeah, because I really want to make surrealist cinema when I grow up, because that's my favorite. Those are my favorite kind of movies. But at the same time, I'm trying to submit this to a film festival, and I don't know how that would really go.
If it's a short film, as long as it doesn't look like complete trash, there's probably a good chance it'll get in. Short films there's not as high of a bar for like film festivals for short films, I don't think.
Well, I'll let you how it goes.
I may not be as big as Adam here, but and I've done a lot of improvement with my writing. I think the best thing that people will come back for is subtlety.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
And you know, it makes your film more rewatchable.
Yeah, I love the Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever have
So-
that feeling where you just wish that, oh, I wish I made that movie, or like I just wish that I had that idea, like imagine,
All the time.
like, yeah, it's so annoying. It's like, oh man, can you imagine if I made it? Like the Lighthouse.
God, I wish
by-
I made Showgirls.
The
There's just so
Lighthouse
much going on
by
in the
Blinding
Lighthouse.
Lights.
Like, so much.
I wish I wrote all the Beatles songs.
You're gonna see yesterday, Lit.
No, I haven't seen
I
it.
wrote the
I don't know if I want to.
Maybe it's worth one watch. Maybe.
Nah, we'll see.
It'll probably be like a 5 or 6.
There's Ed Sheeran in it.
Yeah, it's very just fine.
Average, yeah. I think it's kind of
Any
fair,
other
yeah.
questions or comments from other?
All I was going to say to you, Augie, is just have confidence in your work.
Thank you.
And yeah,
That's
I'll
the,
let you-
yeah. You've got to make sure it makes sense outside from your perspective, basically. It's the main
and
key.
read it to. Maybe one of these guys will be happy to read your work and see how it goes, or look at it.
Yeah, if you want us to like review your short film or write in.
Because like,
yeah, get people to
Adam,
watch
for
it.
example,
Yeah.
you're like.
Also,
one
I
of my
probably
big-
look like a villain in a freaking dark layer right
Yeah.
now.
Because
Yeah,
Adam,
well,
you're like one of my biggest influences for what I want to be when I grow up.
Oh,
when I
thank
make my
you.
film. So,
Oh yeah,
so
Like,
I just, I think that I just thought I would ask,
like Adam, I am going to take on your suggestion for using like toothpaste as a showing of passage of time,
Mm-hmm.
or keeping calendars in the background so people can tell what
Yeah.
date it is.
I think I'm gonna
or
have. I think I'm
clocks.
gonna have a character like snort cocaine through a crazy straw, because I thought that'd be funny.
Have
that's
fun with
fun.
that.
Yeah. I'll let
And
you
again,
know.
to
Are
bring
you,
up the time point.
Are you interested in the Valve Index?
Kind of. I
like
already
the
have a
idea
Vive
of
Pro
using-
though, so I don't know. Like, are the controllers
You could just
better?
get
Maybe,
$100.
kind of.
You could, yeah.
Would you
Okay,
do
so the
I've heard that
controllers,
like the Valve Index is like the top of the line, like highest quality one.
Yeah,
right
I don't.
now.
I don't
Yeah.
feel
Um,
much of a need to jump from the Vive Pro to the Index right now,
the controller
because there will be
can
newer
used on
generations
Vives.
every like year or two.
I would suggest that even if you don't get a new headset, you should definitely get the knuckle controllers
Yeah.
from the Valve Index.
The
They are-
controllers
Yeah,
have touch
I'll probably
sensitivity.
do that when Half-Life Alyx comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta play
Like,
that.
the knuckle
yeah.
I will
controllers-
say that the Index, from what I've heard, isn't wireless yet. So
Yeah, well, my Vive Pro is, so suck it.
Uh,
I'll let you know how the film goes. But also, the note in the box kind of explains. The note in the box, by the way, kind of explains like the rest of the stuff. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
okay.
Any
I
other
had two.
questions and comments?
Yeah. So I am taking. I'm actually in film school, but I'm taking a semester long break just
Mhm.
to work. But I'm planning on buying my own camera just so I can just work on my own stuff, write my own scripts,
Mhm.
just to compensate for me not being there. Do you have any suggestions for any like starter cameras or like any like good cameras?
Yeah, I mean, like it's really, it depends on what you're making. When you're just starting out, you don't need anything like super high tech. Like I would just go with like a Sony Handycam or some shit. Like get one of those off Amazon.
Camcorder for that.
Just get good sound equipment.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
like
of something like lower, so slightly lower than like an X70, because that's like 1,000, I think.
yeah, I mean, like even if you're only spending a couple $100, like digital cameras are pretty good right now. You can still get something
you
that's
can
like
get
4K and like
Right.
doesn't look like shit.
500.
Or if you have an iPhone, those like some people
Yeah.
have movies with their
Yeah,
iPhones.
iPhone's better than anything, I guess.
Yeah, and like depending on what you're doing, like if you're doing things like
Realistic,
really,
yeah.
if you're doing things like really small crew and you don't want to worry about like lav mics or boom mics or any of that shit, just get a camera with like a shotgun mic on it.
Rode or
Oh,
something, Rode
yeah.
video mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shotgun mics are wonders.
Yeah, because
That's-
I want to basically, well, coming off of that, I know video game movies are just like all of them are like just really bad. Like basically, my dream project is to do a Silent Hill movie,
Mhm.
like my first
Wow.
short film. I don't know what kind of advice you have for like
How would
video.
you do it?
I mean, like the recommendation there would just be about like set design and costume design and atmosphere, right? So
Well, that's what
also color.
How would you do the
Even though
monsters?
it's a bad movie, I still think Detective Pikachu is probably the best video game movie.
No,
even though it's really
Silent
bad.
Hill is the best video.
The Pokemon movies
Yeah,
are like,
yeah.
I like the old Pokemon movies.
That's left up to Far Cry 5 or Far Cry the movie made by Uwe Boll.
Oh, Adam, did you hear about Charlie Kaufman's novel Antlife?
the novel he's writing right now.
Yeah. Did you hear
Yeah,
about
I'll check it
I
out.
think-
It's not out yet, is
I
it?
can't wait to read it. No, February.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read it.
You know, on the subject of like, you know, filmmaking and writing, I was actually writing something recently where, you know, the character loses her arm, but there's another character who happens to be a congenital amputee. And I was just realizing the best way to write those characters is just to have them not acknowledge that until it's like explicitly brought up.
All right. So people who haven't gotten a chance to do final questions or comments.
Adam, have you thought of trying Bellatar out again? Because I know you didn't like Touring Horse, but that's
Have I
probably
thought
the
of
worst
trying
one.
what again?
Bellatar, remember that director, you know, the Touring Horse?
Oh.
That guy, yeah. 'cause,
No,
like, you
well,
tried
yeah.
to-
So apparently now I've watched his 2 worst movies. So I'll have to try again.
Workmeister Harmonics.
Because I watched the one for my 2007 list and it was really slow and boring.
Satan Tango, well, it's 7 hours. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down. I haven't completely written them off or anything. Like there's stuff there.
I was thinking,
it just hasn't
maybe
like
they could-
connected with me yet.
I was gonna say maybe like it's a Sardonicast recommendation or something.
Oh, maybe.
I actually made a list on Letterboxd of
Tango.
movies that should be recommended on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I think Bellatar would be a good one actually. 'Cause
Okay.
Maybe Alex and Ralph would love Touring Horse. I don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah,
I had
maybe.
I had 2 quick random thoughts on questions.
Sure.
Goodwill Hunting.
That's fantastic.
I remember enjoying it. I haven't seen it in a long time though. I watched it when I was like really young, but
Okay.
I remember good things about
recently
it.
Saw it. I loved it.
It's cool that
and,
it's cool that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck kind of burst onto the scene with that. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't even
Did
know
you
they
hear
wrote
about Ben
before
Affleck's short? I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
And the other one was a lot newer, Manchester by the Sea.
There's things I really liked about it. I wasn't a big fan of Lucas Hedges. I also feel
And he
like,
gets a lot of
without spoiling anything, like there's a pivotal moment. There are pivotal moments in that are like so brutal and emotional in concept, but then the music just fucking ruins it. And I'm just like, I wish the music wasn't there. The music just was way too much. Yeah, there's.
Was Lucas Hedges
It's fine overall. I just like it's not going to be on my best of the year list. I don't think.
Oh,
cool. Thanks.
Was Lucas
That's all.
Hedges good in Playboy?
Adam.
I actually really want to see that.
He was fine in that.
How was
You don't
Lucas
have to give me
Hedges
an
in
estimate.
Waves? Is he alright?
Yeah, he was
I haven't-
appropriately cast. He didn't bother me in that movie.
That's good to hear.
So, real quickly, how close are you to playing Disaster Wars?
I don't know. It's not in my. I have no answer for that.
Disaster what?
I have
Disaster
it. I just
Wars,
like
the prequel to
it's
Rod
it's
Danger.
not in my immediate trajectory right now. There are other things that we're going
How
through.
Black Christmas is.
No, I don't think I'll watch that. Somebody who hasn't been able to ask final question or comment, go.
What's your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
It was fine.
I
It
like
just
it.
I didn't have anything to say about it. I watched it and I was
It
like,
was
I don't even want to
definitely-
review it. I was just like, I was kind of just. It was like a really passive experience watching it. I wasn't strong in
5
any
out of 10?
direction. I was, I don't know, probably a 5, I guess.
I really like that movie a lot. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies. It's probably my favorite.
I think it has great effects, but
Yeah, it's
everything else,
alright.
Like,
It's because it doesn't take itself seriously. That's why it works. I think that's why it works a lot.
That's the biggest key
I
point.
want to say I really recommend Elephant because I think that
I've
would
seen
be like
it.
a great discussion for the podcast.
Right,
Well, I know, but I just think
elephants
it would be a
sitting
great
still.
discussion for the
Oh,
podcast.
elephant.
That's just my.
I wonder if Ralph and Alex have
but
seen it.
I know.
I feel like
Ralph has. Ralph
Okay.
has.
Yeah, I just think it's a
Yeah,
great
it's a film
movie.
elephants
But
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time you say elephant, I keep thinking sitting still. So it's
I
kind
hope
of
you-
I think it's a Tame Impala song.
I kind of want to recommend Koyani Scotzi, even though I know Ralph gave it 3 stars. But I'm hoping
give
that
everything 3
maybe
stars.
the discussion can give him some more appreciation for it. I don't know how old he was when he watched it, also.
I'd say the best movie recommendations are the ones where you all have different opinions on it.
Yeah.
rather than just, like, all 5 out of
Because
5.
it's about the discussion, you know.
Yeah, that
I feel
too.
it's more
Wait,
interesting.
What was it called? I'm sorry.
Koyani Scotzi?
Yeah.
How do we spell that?
I recommend a
Koyannisquatsi.
Scotzi,
Google will
1986
autocorrect it to the
film.
right title. It's like 1980 something.
Oh yeah, I really wanted to see this.
It's great.
This is a
It's
time-lapse
awesome.
movie.
So only Ralph's seen it.
Oh, it's the time lapse movie, right?
It's not. I wouldn't call it a time lapse movie.
Yeah, but
It's an experimental documentary.
I recommend a Come and See. That's like a really.
Yeah, well, I'll be watching that at some point. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to see that.
When you go do Tarkovsky's The Mirror, that's the one everyone wants you to watch now.
Is there a good Blu-ray out for that right now? Because it's not on Criterion.
I can't remember.
What's not?
The Mirror?
And Andrei Tarkovsky's Mirror.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
No, it's not on
Bellator has,
Criterion.
like,
It might be on like
Blu-rays.
Arrow or something.
On any of his films,
Anybody else
Blu-ray.
that didn't get a chance to ask a question or comment?
I hope you like Fear.com.
Thank you.
I just want to say that you and Ralph and Alex are like half the reason why I want to do what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you do good podcasts.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Like you and Charlie Kaufman are like my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
Charlie's
my
great.
favorite YouTuber. Even though you make some controversial reviews.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah,
respect your opinion.
can't win them all.
Speaking his mind, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad
That's how you know I'm honest.
Say it out and going against the consensus. I love it. I love it.
We're
But
living
you're
in
just
an
being
age where
honest. You know, you're just being honest.
we're living in an age where freedom of speech is controversial.
Yeah, people don't like honest people.
Damn, I really wish you did Toy Story
Honesty is
4,
not
man.
marketable.
You would have got a shitstorm for that.
I got so much shit because I thought that Joker was better than King of Comedy, but you know.
I mean,
I get it. I know, but it's just you know.
I liked Joker a lot, but I've never seen King of Comedy.
I've had the same debate over and over again about it.
All right. Anybody else that didn't get a chance to ask or any final questions or comments?
Do you
Go for it.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever have Colin from Canada on Sardonicast?
That would be cool. Like that could happen.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
You should have
Get
Ralph.
a little
Be an
portrait for him.
episode, for sure.
Or you should have Ralph's brother Michael.
Hey, if
I don't
you
know
ever
anything
do get
about Ralph's
Colin
brother.
from Canada on Sardonicast, you should use that still of him on Red Letter Media where he's just holding a deadpan face.
Yeah.
I also wanted to thank you for using the fan art I made on the last Sardonicast episode with the 3 heads.
Oh yeah.
It was Alex.
No problem.
Yeah, I did that one. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jakey would be awesome.
Any other questions or comments from somebody that didn't get a chance?
In the game, baby.
Adam, you are a cool guy.
Thank you.
You're a cool cat.
Go for
I
it.
forgot to screen share Cool Cat again. No, I'm just kidding.
Cool Cat.
What's Daddy Derek up to these days?
Oh, God.
Final questions and comments.
Is he doing another 420 awards? Because Adam.
Hopefully.
I hope.
I'm trying to wrap this up because I got shit to do. Any other final?
I'll see you later, Adam.
Final
All right,
questions
see ya.
and comments from people that didn't get a chance to ask any? No.
That was a good first
I don't think
Patreon
so.
hangout for me.
Okay.
Well,
Go for it.
I'm playing Devil May Cry 5 at the moment.
Mhm.
Do you think you'll be able to give that a try?
I don't know. I don't know too
On
much
the-
about
on
the
the
series, honestly.
You should play the first
Oh,
one. It's
okay.
great.
I started
Is
with
that the one
fifth
where
episode,
apparently I
yeah.
look like one of the characters?
That's the
Yeah.
darkness.
The one with
Oh, the
the
darkness.
shit.
Yeah, that was
I'm
it.
playing.
That's
I'm
different.
playing
Yeah.
at the moment. You look
That's a good
kinda
one.
like-
Estacado.
All right.
Anyone with long hair.
Estacado. I don't know. Whatever. It's
As long as nobody feels like I missed them. If you have anything to say it now. Okay.
See you
Hope to see
later.
you on
We're all gonna die. It's gonna
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Check the Patreon for the next month thing. That should be updated in the next week or two. Peace out. Thank you for your support.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.